gut flora is doing. Just don't want my gut flora doing this. I want it to thrive.
Balls. Subtle. Balls. Subtle. You're the balls.
Oh, my favorite part is that the balls echo just continues far too long.
Yeah, it kind of, the balls just echo throughout the hallowed halls.
That's so nice. Oh, man. Thank you again, Method.
He spoils us. I've said that before, but he spoils us.
He really does. He really does. And it's so great. I'm just waiting for him to get me, like, saying something like Hitler did nothing wrong and throw that in there.
Yo, is the horn sample from House of Cards intro?
The horn?
Yeah, the
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch much of House of Cards.
No.
I didn't get into it until we found out he rapes teenagers.
Till he got into it?
Yeah.
And you're all over the show. You're like, let me pick up some pointers.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Windows Defender summary. Sorry for the noise, guys.
So I do have a follow-up for that. What's the most useless kind of insect question?
Okay.
I'm going to mispronounce this. Apparently there's a kind of insect called strepsipterans. They exist only as a parasite living on other insects. The females have no limbs and embed themselves into another insect to make babies that float around inside their body, parasitizing the mother strepsipteran and then explode out their mother's face. So, yeah.
Oh.
It's interesting how they explode out the face. Never mind. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's another useless insect. There you go.
There we go, guys.
Why are you the only one that
you
got
guys are
that?
learning shit today. Oh, they like burrow into the ass of like wasps and bees. That's all I can find pictures of is them in like wasp and bee asses.
Yeah, I don't think there's like any like one that anybody would be familiar with just looking at it, but apparently they're super gross and weird. So
yeah. They got some cool looking wings though. Those are some cool looking fucking wings.
This is literally the first I'm hearing about these, and they sound like a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, but they're tiny. So, I mean, if they explode out your face, it's like a pimple. You know? I'm not worried about it.
Well.
Oh, endoparasites and other insects such as bees, wasps, leafhoppers, silverfish, and cockroaches. Yeah, no, that about makes sense. So, yeah, those are horrific.
Wait a minute. If they're just parasitizing those, why are they? I see a problem with bees, but the rest of those I'm cool with them.
Okay, and then she clarifies, I can't think of a single animal that relies on those insects for food. So yes, they are in fact pretty useless.
They're just worthless biomass. But
Worthless
they kill
biomass.
wasps.
Yeah, but
Cockroaches.
when you say wasps, right? Like you're thinking of yellow jackets. There are hundreds of thousands of other kind of wasps, and very few of them actually act like yellow jackets. There's like families of wasps and shit. Like a whole bunch of them are completely and totally chill. They're cool. It's just like a general body design. They all have like varied like.
Well,
routine.
if they could get off my fucking lawn, I wouldn't have a problem with them.
You don't like paper wasps.
Are we
No.
on air?
Not at all. I fucking hate. Yeah, we're on air. This is
Okay.
the best intro we've done. It's still the intro.
I don't even know what we're doing.
Oh my god, that could be the new bit. Instead of doing like a long ass fucking
We just start.
long
go
ass
right into it.
the long ass title. No. We do a random bug fact from Concrete's girlfriend.
Oh, he started in like the audience had heard what the fuck we were talking about. Like he had continued.
Oh, this is fucking terrifying.
What?
It's got like
Put 'em
fucking
on it.
it's got like fucking dangly
Put 'em on
things
it.
coming from its face. It's
On
not
my
its
side of the
babies,
bed.
but it's just got like fucking
Creepy ass Mandela animals.
yeah, here, let me send I'll show you guys. It'll be on Discord. I'll share it in the regular Stopgap Discord so all the viewers can see it too. It's gonna go up in Dance Moms.
See, cicada killers are actually pretty baller. I don't know.
I think dance moms are the worst kind of insect.
Dance Moms. Yeah, I mean, I've got a few in my fucking house and it's real. It gets real
Also-
obnoxious.
House
When
flies.
is the next big cicada?
Shit, you ever been
Yeah.
around one of those? They happen real hardcore in Vegas. Like I think it's like every 7 years, right? It's probably gonna be
There's,
like
there's a couple
They're
different
around
ones.
here.
Isn't there like a 17-year one or something?
Yeah.
the last one that was here was bad.
Okay,
So
so
loud.
the reason that cicada killers aren't terrifying is because they're solitary. Like if you're getting attacked by paper wasps and shit, they're not trying to kill you. They're trying to scare you off their actual like hive. Solitary wasps generally don't do that kind of thing.
They
So like a
fly
cicada
away.
killer, yeah, a cicada killer might be gigantic, but it's much less likely to actually fuck with you
Oh,
because it
God.
isn't going to kill you.
This thing does look like an eldritch horror. Look at this other picture of it.
Nothing to prove.
Oh, look in Dance Moms. These look fucking hideous. They're terrifying.
Oh God,
Yeah,
that's so much worse than I imagined.
it really is. It's almost like it's like it looks like Alf's snout as an ass.
Nature is gross.
Ugh, the fuck is wrong with Mother Nature? Why would she create something like that? All right, but we got some headlines. It's September 20th. You guys are watching the Stopgap Stop Pants Back Tits Radio Show. You can shorten that just to Stopgap Radio Show. I know I will going forward. We got some headlines. We got some news for you guys. We got some talking points that we are going to forget about completely because we're just gonna fucking ad lib everything we do, as we always do on the show. So let's get going with these headlines. We'll start with the world news. The amendment that effectively banned abortion in the Republic of Ireland has been repealed. Cuba's new president endorsed same-sex marriage this week. South Africa's highest court decriminalized marijuana use this week. And Manafort is to plead guilty in the Mueller probe with full cooperation. So that's some huge fucking news for the Mueller probe. On top of that, the Puerto Rico governor has asked Trump for statehood, and that will go well because we know how Trump loves brown people.
Yeah. That's going to go zero
I
places.
thought you
Yeah.
steak.
We got some science news. Archaeologists have found a stone in a South African cave that may bear the world's oldest drawing at 73,000 years. What else?
What's it up?
Some scientists decided giving octopuses MDMA would be cool, and they found out that serotonin is a universal constant among vertebrates and invertebrates.
Fuck yeah.
So that's
Dude, I read that today and it was awesome.
I would have
fucking
loved
cool.
to have been rolling with those.
Dude, could
with
you
the
imagine
octopus.
seeing could you imagine
Oh.
rolling with 8 legs?
That'd be dope,
8
dude.
ways to fucking just touch your fucking body?
Hmm
And they got a brain in each one of those legs. So,
Oh
like,
man.
You're gonna shoot
Yeah.
otherwise.
Imagine how fucked up his legs were. How did they give them Molly? Like, did they just like drop a fuck ton of Molly in an aquarium and see what happened?
Hey,
Or,
if they give
no,
them
A scientist was bending over to like take water samples, and his Molly fell out of his fucking pocket, and he went, "This is on purpose. I did
Oh
this on
shit, we're
purpose.
testing this now.
Molly
Get the notebooks! Get the notebooks! It's happening!"
If they only had 4 pills, would only 4 of the legs roll? Seriously.
I don't
Oh,
know, man.
I was gonna.
They still have a central nervous.
I
they
wonder-
have a
I
main
wonder-
central nervous system.
I wonder.
Yeah,
if
they
this-
just have a distributed nervous system. It isn't all just in their head. They actually have like
Yeah.
tiny little forebrains in each one of their legs. It's a completely different evolutionary path. It's kind of cool.
I wonder
extremely
if
cool.
this octopus had like one straight edge
They're
leg.
They're like mad smart too.
Right. You ever see them getting that how they figure out how to get inside a jar or some shit like that?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy shit. Dude.
But I wonder if it has like this one straight edge leg that's like sitting there while all the other legs are tripping, and it's like you
Yeah,
guys
well,
are you guys
got
are
his arms
really
crossed.
bad for this.
He's the,
You guys
he's
are-
the, he's the guide. He's the trip guide.
Yeah,
One
stop
arm's like a total
touching me.
pervert. One arm's a pervert, the other one's with his arms crossed. They're one sneezy,
The other one's just sitting in the corner screaming.
one break dances. Yeah. The other one.
No, but like in the article,
There's
they went
always one that does a little too much.
Yeah, crazy as well. Fuck that. The other one's-
in the article they were talking about like some of the behavior. Like they apparently got a little bit more touchy feely and less aggressive with other octopi while they were doing it, and some of them just kind of like spaced out and seemed to be changing their colors just for the sake of changing their colors.
Totally tripping.
Dude,
Just-
they were
Yeah.
definitely they went, dude, look what I can do.
I can do it too, but it's the same one.
I wonder, dude, I wonder how far that could go. Like how deeply we could stimulate the minds of these fucking octopus.
Let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Let's go full Joe Rogan.
Yeah. That's DMT.
There's a chance. What does he say? There's a chance. Oh man, what the fuck?
Graham, you're the person in here that's most likely to listen to Joe
What
Rogan.
the fuck
no,
is
I
Joe
did that.
Rogan saying?
He says DMT is a 5-dimethyl hydroxy.
No. When he says
Why-
like, there's a real possibility. There's a real
Yeah.
possibility.
Aliens. Yeah.
There's a real possibility that if we give an octopus enough MDMA, it will begin to replicate like human faces in its color change, man. There's a real fucking possibility there, and that blows my mind. That blows your fucking Concrete. Did you pull that up for me? Did you pull that up for me, Concrete?
What's that?
Yeah. I get it. You know what you're doing.
Did you get that? Oh yeah, dude. Okay. All right. So viewers, now take a look at this, guys.
I see what
Take a look at this. This is octopus camouflage. Isn't this fucking crazy? Isn't this fucking crazy, guys? Look at this. Look, where's the octopus? Oh wait, I didn't share it for the viewers. 1 second.
I thought you're still doing Joe Rogan.
Oh, I'm still doing Joe Rogan
Okay. I thought
because he puts it up on the screen.
Yeah. So
Look at this.
This is actually a pretty good Joe Rogan.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
look at this. Isn't this insane? How do you do that? And it changes its body so completely. Like, what if tomorrow there's like a real possibility that these MDMA octopi, they're now on a higher level of understanding.
Do they
Right.
also get the word font?
Right? They're on a higher level of understanding. So now they're going to start replicating what they see as humans walk by their aquariums. They're going to start putting their limbs together and becoming these eldritch horrors. Crazy stuff, man.
There's only one thing
Crazy
I
stuff.
hate more than stoners, and it's fucking stoning octopus.
It's fucking Joe Rogan. That's the only thing I hate more than stoners.
This MDMA is turning the freaking octopuses gay.
Yeah. Committing suicide, the fish.
No, like random octopus rant, I guess, or whatever, but like it's weird how intelligent octopi are, and like there's no understanding of the way that like their brain is working, because like if you look at like a dog, right, like even like a really smart dog, you can kind of like understand why the dog's doing what it's doing. Just no basis of understanding why the fuck these octopi are actually doing what they're doing. It's very alien. It's creepy.
Yeah, they are. They're from space. They're not
Yeah.
human.
Because like there's like a good deal of like whatever you want to call intelligence there, but it's completely and totally different from the way that a mammal would actually operate. So it's like really weird and creepy.
Yeah.
It's almost like we know more about space than the ocean.
I kind of feel the same way about birds too,
Yeah.
but not to as much of a degree.
Birds are
Fuck
dinosaurs.
birds as well. That's my stance on the subject.
Fuck birds.
They're
Yeah, fuck
reptilians.
birds.
I mean,
They're-
there's some
they're-
birds that are sexy. I'd probably fuck
They're
them.
dinosaurs.
Like birds
I
of
ain't gonna fuck
paradise. You ever seen the feathers on that shit?
Oh, sexy, dude.
Dude,
I
there's
agree.
a real possibility that in the future we're gonna genetically modify humans to have these birds of paradise feathers coming out of like our fucking elbows and backs.
Well, I
and
mean, we're
stuff,
gonna
man.
modify ourselves to have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
People are gonna have scales, and you know, you're gonna be it's gonna go beyond just being a furry. You're gonna be able to actually live it.
Dude,
Transhumanism.
That's my
dude, I'm all
fucking
about
dream.
some transhumanism. I'm a little bit disappointed that I think I was born slightly too early to be able to have like
Yeah, fuck
like
birds.
we're doing wearables, but I don't think we're gonna really get into like implantables in my lifetime.
Dude,
I
you're
don't
doing
think-
wearables.
don't-
I'm doing edibles, man.
I don't think as a general population like people are going to be willing to have stuff implanted in their bodies yet, which is
No, not
unfortunate.
yet.
Like,
Because I would love to have like the phone chip in the ear and like the iPod built in. You know what I mean?
I'm saying this.
Have like the thing that throws the screen up inside your eye, so you can. I would love to have all that.
This is gonna be the next eyebrow craze right
You're
here.
gonna be going to the
When-
genius.
once
Bar a
once
lot.
transhumanism
that's
starts,
real.
these are gonna be the new fucking on fleek eyebrows.
Yeah, that's on fleek.
I might be able to do
They
that.
gotta come
think you
off
can do
your
it now.
fucking head. Dude, look at these feathers. Aren't those cool as shit?
These are Mandela effect animals.
Like, man, birds of paradise got that
Look
shit
up-
going on.
Look at that one with a big ass fucking face.
Which one? This one? Oh, this one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
up there, the
that one.
Hamburger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
The person in the costume.
Go Google Mandela effect animals.
Dude, I'm not googling
telling
the
you, just
fucking.
do it.
I'm
Don't
not
act like
feeding
that's-
your
just do
You
it.
get
bullshit.
put on a fucking list somewhere if you Google Mandela effect.
I'm telling you, Google Mandela effect animals, and you're gonna be like, whoa.
like,
not real.
like when FEMA finally rolls through and sets up its death camps, you'll be first on the list if you've Googled Mandela effects.
Oh
They're not
dear.
real. They're just animals that are just that weren't here before.
I went down the Berenstain Bears fucking rabbit hole when I first heard about it. It was like,
Berenstein.
Go with the animals.
Yeah,
What you'll
maybe we transported to an alternate dimension, or maybe there's recorded history that both books exist, but they're from different publishers, and one could get rights to Berenstein, and one could get name rights to Berenstain.
Yeah, but that's not the case. That's not what happened.
That's
though.
exactly what the fuck
No,
happened.
it's not. There's no evidence.
But why does it bother you so much? You're powerless to change it.
or what's that Sinbad movie? Or
Shazam.
Shazam? Yeah, that whole thing.
What about Luke? No, I am your father. He doesn't say Luke, I'm your father. Or magic mirror on the wall. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Or maybe there was a theatrical cut, and maybe there was a
Go try to
fucking
find Luke, I
release
am your
cut.
father. Go try and
Maybe
find
they
Luke,
also
I am your father.
didn't they remake it in the 90s?
No, it's no.
Dude,
They made a second
okay,
edition.
people could have gone to the theaters and seen Luke, I
Yeah.
am your father. And then on home release, they all saw, no, I am your
Especially
father.
because
But
there
it,
wasn't home release for like
Yeah, for
Years.
years. Remember?
yeah, it
It
was
was
like
like
it was like
9
and that's
months.
something that's like hard for me to that's something that's kind of hard for me to grasp because like almost my whole life as far as I can remember there was VHS. Like I mean there's a little bit of time before that, but like since I was like beta, whatever, just VCR technology, right?
Yeah.
So I mean I know there was a period of time, but I mean I'm thinking back to like I don't know 6, 7, something like that. I know we had a VCR, right? And so there were movie rental places, you know what I mean? So like you could go and rent and you could see the movies. But like for my dad's generation, like when a movie left the theater, like you never saw that movie again unless it ran in the unless they brought it back and did
That-
another run in like 10 years or something like that.
or
So
you,
there
or
is-
you had the
so-
fucking, what was it, the 8mm or whatever?
Yeah. So so for a lot of people, like they, like you said, they saw the movie in the theater that one time, and so that's the way they remembered it. And it wasn't until it came out on video,
Yeah.
8 years later or whatever, that they were like, "Oh, this isn't the same as I."
Maybe,
well, no, 'cause
yeah,
you haven't
maybe
seen it for
maybe
that
we
long.
remember Luke, I am your father, because an entire generation of people grew up with the theatrical release that very well could have said, Luke, I am your father, and there's no proof of it because there wasn't an in-home release, and they created most of the popular culture that we grew up
on a
on.
different dimension.
They also made changes to the
making
movies
sense.
in 1997 and 2004 and 2011.
It's not
you
making
had,
sense.
you had
dude.
fucking Jabba the Hutt
Not
walking
sense.
around with Han Solo outside on a landing platform and shit.
It's more likely we.
You had like a
fucking merge
musical.
with
You had
another
like
dimension.
you had the
And
Max
here's
Rebo
another
band
thing.
doing a musical breakdown in the middle of it.
Here's another thing. In the theatrical release, Han shot first.
Hey, well, in a theatrical release,
Is that another universe? Is it another universe where Han shot first, or is it?
They restored that. He always shoots
It makes
first.
much more sense that we've merged with another dimension.
Sure, that absolutely makes more sense.
Dude, octopuses.
Octopi.
Dude, it's entirely possible.
No, it's octopuses now. Octopi's Mandela
That
effect.
is entirely possible. There we go.
How about the reality? Like that's pretty fucking weird too, right? So
You know, there's also octopods.
that's
Yeah, those are just things with 8 legs. That's
Yeah.
anything with 8 legs.
What about
Including
arachnids?
Those are
including
octopods.
octopi.
They're a
Yeah,
type
what's a
of
tripod?
like octopod is literally just means it has 8 legs.
Okay.
Like a fucking lobster is an octopod, but it's actually a crustacean, which is
Yeah,
actually
That's
an
why we're
arthropod.
bipods.
like 4 of their legs are bullshit.
And arachnids are also arthropods, right? Concrete, you're the resident bug
Yes.
expert. Yeah.
Yes, they're arthropods. So,
So,
are crustaceans, I think.
I want to know if I
But
cooked
can
up
they actually sing under the sea?
if I cooked up some spiders, how would that shit taste?
If you got a spider that was as big as a lobster, probably pretty good.
No,
Make
I
sure
mean
it's
like
venomous.
a ball. If I just got a bunch of spiders, like got a bunch of spiders and just roasted all of them.
I mean,
Ask
Yeah,
a fourth.
I'm not
Like,
eating
ask a
krill.
4-year-old.
Like I'm assuming it tastes like krill. But
I'm
maybe
assuming you
less
taste
fishy.
like krill. Fuck, don't
I've had
ruin my
I've had
dreams.
grasshoppers.
It's entirely possible if you collect enough spiders, right?
They have DMT
You
on
grind them up, you put them in a blender, and you form them into a lobster. It's entirely possible that you would be able to trick someone into thinking that that was a lobster.
Indigenous tribes
just-
do it in South America. They do.
Dude, ask a 4th grader, or like not a 4th grader, 4-year-old. Like, just send your 4-year-old to daycare and just tell him to eat a bunch of fucking spiders. He'll do it, and he'll tell you.
Well,
Hey, every spider you see, test
Challenge accepted.
it and tell me how it is.
Well, what the
That's
fuck
the only
else are
one-
kids
that's the only
good
one
for?
here.
Yeah, like-
It's the only one here with a toddler.
All right.
That's all. That's all we
Challenge
did in like we didn't eat them, but like that was preschool. Was like, nope. You had one old barrel drum and you caught all the spiders and threw them in there, and then you took the other barrel drum, you threw all the grasshoppers in there, and you tried to make them fight.
school did you go to?
That was preschool, dude. There,
Okay.
that was all there was to do. So you
Um,
tried to make backyard wrestling ring.
Your fucking school was
What the
infected with
fuck?
fucking-
No, dude.
That's crazy.
That shit was like I didn't know anybody who was like backyard wrestle. I don't.
No, for insects when we were 4. Yeah, that's all we did in preschool.
Okay.
We used to just chase the girls.
Oh man,
Wait, did you
See? JJ
participate in
believes it.
backyard wrestling when you
that would explain a
were
lot.
like a teenager?
Backyard
yeah,
wrestling.
He looks like the type,
he
doesn't he?
does.
He really does. I can imagine him coming out shirtless in some
With a
fucking
chair.
Jenko jean pants, jean
Breakaway.
shorts, right? Wearing his etnies.
Yes.
I've never. Well, okay. All right.
Drinking a can of PBR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or Bush. That's the other one.
Mm-mm.
Steel Reserve.
all right. Now Steel Reserve. I'll do.
They're just
All right.
drinking brass monkeys at the backyard wrestling ring.
I've never been more inspired to go
It's
get my
Brass
haircut.
Monkey Monday at the backyard wrestling rink. Bring your brass monkeys down and watch Jerry, the Drunk Lord.
I actually knew these kids that did the backyard wrestling nonsense. They built a fucking a
Wow.
full on like chain cage thing with like barbed wire. I was like, you guys are stupid. You guys are gonna get like seriously hurt. They like were doing a lot of the legitimate stuff. Like they left so many
Weird
times having to
shit.
go get stitches. They're stupid.
Yo,
Oh no, I would.
Jerry,
I
can you
would
say
go to that though.
Jerry, can you say
Oh, I went. I absolutely.
Oh yeah,
went.
I would totally
But-
be the person there with the PBR just like laughing the entire time. Definitely.
Jerry, real quick for me, can you say, I'm coming after you, Mean Gene?
Do it. Do it.
I'm coming after you, Mean Gene.
Nah, he didn't accentuate mean enough.
Yeah.
Mean
Nope.
Gene.
Whoever came after Mean Gene Okerlund.
I don't even know who Mean Gene is.
He's Mean Gene Okerlund. It's that old kind of balder announcer for the WWF.
He said went to the well once too many. He said that all the time. It was Jerry the King Lawler, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, Jerry the King Lawler.
He took a.
Okay.
I guess no.
He beat
Well, they
down
have
Andy
random
Kaufman on live television.
That guy owns
He come out and fucking.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Skills,
dude. That guy owns a fucking
Cole,
barbecue
up?
joint like a mile
can
away.
you do me a favor and switch
there's-
over to my view full screen really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to freak Sin out.
Oh,
We've got-
is that a Madagascar cockroach? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
we've got a Madagascar hissing cockroach right there.
Dude, eat it. Eat it. Eat it.
Don't eat that.
50
Don't eat
bucks.
it.
I'll
Don't
PayPal
eat
you $50 if you
How
eat
come we
that.
both saw him and we thought he was gonna eat it?
Wow,
I thought
how
he was-
big are your fucking hands, my dude? What
They're
are
very
you
big.
wearing fucking catcher mitts? What the fuck? Dude, it looked normal sized on your girlfriend's
Please.
hand. You
It
come
looks
out, dude, it's like a baby hand compared to yours.
It looks like a tick.
It's a super cute
so much
dude.
smaller.
Bro,
Oh
is
my
that a
God.
flea or a cockroach? What the fuck?
No, it's just clubbing from the alcoholism.
That thing was 10 times bigger 2 minutes ago.
Bro, is
Oh, it's coming
is
at the camera now.
that like
Oh
a forced
my God.
perspective type of
Can you
thing?
put it back in her? I just need
I
to
love this.
That's the
comparison.
Oh my
funniest
God,
fucking thing
also,
I ever saw.
She
Wait,
exists.
Come back. Oh.
She can't hear how hilarious we are. She's gonna try to get out of there.
I had been threatening to do that to Sin
I'm trying to
forever.
get out of
So
here.
Bro, that
Yeah.
was the weirdest fucking optical illusion I ever saw. How fast you're good at that close up magician's shit. You're practicing already. You turn that thing into a tick.
Bro,
Hilarious.
bro, you could definitely do some fucking sleight hand magic just by
He just did.
just by using your hand.
I could,
Like-
I could just palm an entire deck of cards at once.
No, like a fucking
like-
Volkswagen Bug.
Dude, you could palm a fucking toddler.
God.
Although I am gonna go wash my hands. I just wanted to get that out there for
Bro,
Sin.
you
I'm
took
threatening
that
to do
you took
forever.
that from her hand and it immediately became smaller. I
He
went,
does
what the
weirdest
fuck
thing I
is
ever seen.
my
Dare you to
mind
lick your
didn't
hand now.
comprehend it.
I know. When you said it, I was like, well, that is happening. Because at first I was not thinking that was really happening. I thought it was the drugs. And then you saw it too. So
No, cockroach. Like I get the fact.
You said
that
I went
whatever.
swimming with some octopuses. I don't know if I'm just
Fucking
rolling
right.
real hard right now or
freaking out, man.
Cockroaches are kind of cool though because they're actually a fairly social animal. If they have enough food, they don't fuck with each other, and you can have different species of the same of cockroaches in the same container, and they're perfectly fine. That's the only Madagascar hissing cockroach we have. The rest of them, I think, are. Want to say there's some German ones and some Oriental ones in there, and they live in perfect harmony.
Can they change
Just like
shape?
World War II.
yeah.
Oh god, don't get Graham started on the.
All right, no, I am seriously gonna wash my hands. So
Okay.
I'll be right back.
No, it's like they can't. Okay.
I feel like I should mail him some cockroaches. Some New
There's
York.
enough there. Some Chinese.
Yeah,
cockroach.
I'll scoop some of the cockroaches up from my fucking garage that I keep having to fucking chase out of my house.
I'll throw a subway rat in there. You know.
Graham's like, why can't we
So
just
so
call
the
him China?
cockroaches have some food.
You imagine what a subway rat would look like in his hands?
It would still be large.
I don't know. Yeah, probably large, but
I mean,
They're-
they can get the
weird.
size of cats.
No.
Yes.
Like if you feed a rat, yeah, you can make him the size of a small cat.
Sin, what the fuck is wrong with him? Well, first of all, his hands have elephantitis.
just look at
That's number one.
That's
He
just
needs
the
to see, he
beginning.
needs to see a
So
fucking
does
doctor
Paul.
about that. That was
it's elephantitis of the knuckles.
like
No,
his
it's-
girlfriend
Petted too
wasn't
many elephants.
his girlfriend wasn't a tiny person. Like she was a normal sized human being with normal sized
That
human
thing was
hands, and then he
big.
comes in with these fucking
Oh,
bear mitts.
Meat hooks. Jesus Christ.
No, I mean like this is a 2-liter bottle. I mean, yeah, I've got fairly large hands.
Dude, are you like half fucking excavator? I don't.
What the
I'm pretty sure my biological father was a fucking ape, a
Yeti?
gorilla of some kind, because that's
You're
about the only
Yeti.
thing that makes sense.
You're the Bigfoot. It's in your area.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I just wanted to do that for Sin, so I've been threatening to do something like that for a while. So
Well, thank
thank
God.
you for watching, Sin.
Thank you for asking for that.
Man.
Now we have a point of reference.
Bro, so what you're saying is if I don't want cockroaches in my house, I should order some streptociptarians from online.
That almost seems worse.
Or get a cat. Just get a cat.
I have 2 cats, but I'm super grossed out by the idea of like them eating a cockroach because they like to groom me.
I don't even want to get.
You don't have any hair.
No, like when I take a nap,
think
they'll
he's
just
one of
like
them.
lick the fuck out of my arms and hands.
They think he's a hairless one of them.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, no, we have more. That Madagascar hissing cockroach was actually a refugee from part of the colony that the girlfriend uses to do presentations at like elementary schools and stuff. It got left over when it was a baby, and so it's just been
I would
chilling
hate
with
that
the other
story.
cockroaches.
If I didn't love you so much, I'd hate that story.
I wanted you to eat it.
I really don't have much of a creature collection right now. It's seriously the cockroaches, and I got a hamster.
What's his name? Is his name Frank? Seems like
Hunk.
you guys would name him Frank. Hunk?
No, it's Hunk.
Yeah, I was close.
That's the
'Cause-
hamster's name.
Yeah, because he has long flowing hair like a gosh darn hunk.
Oh,
It's a Steve
goddamn.
Burrell thing.
God damn you. Oh, you told me that's one of the funniest stories I heard all year is from you and that goddamn hamster. Tell me how excited you got when it ate fucking was it pears?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
okay.
That
I
and
thought
the
that
Christmas
was gonna
card.
take a different turn. I thought this was going to the dark corner, and I went, I don't know if we're ready for this. I don't know if we've groomed our fucking audience enough to be ready for the hamsters.
Yeah, he.
Is this like a
it's gonna
Mel
happen, that's
Gibson
gonna happen.
thing?
No, it's
What?
like a Lemmiwinkle.
Oh, you're talking about Richard
Lemmy
Gere,
Winks.
not
Oh, Richard Gere. Is
yeah,
Richard
not
Gere?
Mel Gibson. I was thinking, is this like I dislike a
Something
certain
we do.
subset of people?
Yeah, he was
That hamster
he was
hates Jews.
screaming. He was screaming about Jews and the blacks in the street when. Well, that's how Concrete found him. It was a great story, real heartwarming. Let's hear this fucking hamster story then.
Oh no, I was talking to Graham and I was realizing that like my brain had finally and completely gone soft when I was out grocery shopping, and like I saw pears and I got super excited because the hamster hadn't had pears yet. Like it was literally the high point of my fucking month at that point. I was like, yeah, no, there's probably something mentally wrong with me.
Yeah, there is. You talked to Graham outside of this show.
Oh,
There's absolutely something mentally wrong with you.
That's the big problem.
All of us spend 6 days of the week pretending he doesn't fucking exist.
Do you really? That's interesting.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's totally true.
So I grew up with pet rats.
A, that doesn't surprise me, and B, I don't know. I think rodents are kind of slept on in general. Like they're pretty low maintenance. They're like
Hey,
kind of cool. They chill. Works
my
out.
rats were
They're fine.
clean. They came when I called them. Like they knew their name. They were smart.
Yeah.
I think I was scarred as a child because one of my hamsters ate the other one.
Oh yeah, we had that problem. One of our rats, when we got her, we didn't know she was pregnant. She had like 4 little babies.
I
And
accidentally
my
killed
mom
like
lady.
found out when she came to the cage to go clean it and found 4 dead babies that she half ate.
There was a lady lived by me that we didn't know
I-
she was pregnant. Big
And
old
she ate her babies.
Yeah.
I didn't know my aunt was pregnant and she was like over 7 months along.
I accidentally killed like 3 of my friends' hamsters growing up.
Because
Like
you
as a
squeezed them.
child. No,
Two's an
no,
accident,
no,
motherfucker.
because I'd be playing with them,
Squeeze them a little
and
hard.
then like my friend would leave the room and I'd be playing with him, and I just had such bad ADD that I'd fucking forget about him. And like
Why did they stop letting you play with
one time we were fucking around with it, and she had this big Barbie car, and we were like, let's put it in the Barbie car and have it be like driving around, and we were like driving it around, and it went like inside the Barbie car, so we didn't see it, and we just kind of forgot about it, and like
Hold on.
fucking 8 months later, she found the skeleton of her beloved hamster in her fucking Barbie car when she went to play with it.
Why are
Another
you
one
playing with Barbie cars?
because I was hanging out with my friend that was a girl.
Oh, okay.
I'd
Alright.
fucking play with anything, dude.
Don't worry, he was Ken.
So
Yeah.
even as a child, you were an asshole.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
no,
he's
and
still-
then at another friend's house, we were like playing with her hamster, I had a lot of friends that were girls growing up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It's a little
I
odd.
realized that.
Did you spend the night?
Yeah.
If they let you, that's the word
It's because
part.
their
Yeah.
fathers knew you were harmless.
Yeah.
He was 17.
That's it. No, and we were playing with her hamster, and we put it back in her cage, and she forgot to close it. But like, I feel like I distracted her with like, "Come look at this" or some shit. And the hamster got out, and when her mom called her downstairs, she ran downstairs, and like we left the room, and she slammed the door and heard a fucking squeak, and she fucking
She killed their hamster.
yeah. But the reason it was out was me. I still live with
contributed.
fucking regret for that, man.
Your parents come by, they're like, "Well, son, you kill it, you eat it."
No, my parents came by, and my mom was like, "I told you something's fucking wrong with him."
Yeah. He's homo.
Don't get me started on the amount of fucking neighborhood animals that I nailed to
Oh
my
God,
barn
what'd you
wall.
do? That's the beginning of a serial killer. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
ritually, like.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like for my enjoyment. It was to sacrifice them to my dark lords.
To the dark
Yeah.
gods. Yeah.
Everyone else has been. Yeah, I don't know.
What's the name of the triad? The bedwetting, the torturing animals, the serial killer triad. What's the name of that?
Oh, I can't
Don't
remember.
everybody sit here and act like they don't know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but it doesn't mean I know what it's called.
Sorry, I got distracted by football.
Signs of sociopathy
Psychopathism.
in
It's
toddlers.
psychopathy.
No, is it psychopathy?
That's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Did we
I
die
was
for him?
thinking sociopath, not
You
psychopath.
don't have to be a fucking
It's
serial killer to be a sociopath.
You don't have to be a
No.
serial killer to be a psychopath, dickhead.
Well,
True.
You don't have to be a
Like
sociopath
all
to be a
serial
serial
killers-
killer.
No, all serial killers are psychopaths, but not all serial killers are sociopaths.
They have a lot of key traits of psychopathy. Yeah.
Lying, lack of empathy.
Yeah, they have no.
No, Google serial killer triad.
So CEREAL, right?
It's like the Cajun triad: onions, green peppers.
Yeah, you know, it's a male plot.
Oh shit!
It's a male plot.
Speaking
On
of
the
this,
ASPD spectrum.
speaking
So
of this-
is sociopath, but sociopath and psychopath are kind of go hand in hand because of that spectrum.
There's. What is it that the psychopath has that
I was-
that doesn't have?
Okay, the triad you're thinking of, I kind of love the fact it's called the McDonald triad.
That's it.
The marijuana.
I'm just thinking like
Yeah,
damn,
bedwetting. It's bedwetting, fire starting, and
Oh, fuck.
animal
eating
torture.
McDonald's.
Oh shit!
Well, I did the fire starting part.
bro. Speaking of this, have you guys ever watched
As a
We Need to
kid.
Talk About Kevin?
Is it 2 out of 3?
Yes.
That is a fucked movie.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yep.
keep hearing that.
When she catches him going at it, and he just keeps looking at her. Oh man.
Oh yeah, and then when he murders
hot,
his dad in the fucking.
It's hot stuff, man.
Oh god, that's such a fucked movie.
Felt like it was a little unrealistic because I don't think anyone would actually impregnate Tilda Swinton.
Dude, I can see her eyebrows. She obviously has eyebrows. Why do I feel like she doesn't have eyebrows though?
I don't think she does in Doctor Strange. Maybe those are fake eyebrows. They're like eyebrow markings.
Maybe it's the lack of like any other discernible facial features that she has that makes me feel like she doesn't like. I don't know what it is. It's like if someone who had seen a human once or twice was told to draw a human. She looks like a gray alien. That's what
Now
it
that I
is.
think about it, she looks kind of like you in Doctor Strange.
Well, fuck you, fight me. How about that?
So Tilda Swinton and La Rue are the same person, right?
Thought La Rue was a Bay Area rapper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think LaRue may be cooler than Tilda Swinton, but Tilda Swinton seems cool as fuck anyway. So
Because La Rue, did they ever put out another album? You know, there's actually 2 people in that group.
I thought it was just like the one redheaded chick.
Yeah, it's just
No, there's a guy that produces all the music that doesn't want to be seen.
Did you ever catch that mixtape that Mad Decent did remixing that LaRue album? I think it's called like Laser Proof. Has a whole bunch of awesome fucking remixes on it.
No, but I could see that. There's a DJ named Mick Boogie that used to do a ton of those, and he did a remix of Adele's 19 called 1988, where he took everything and put them over top of like 88 hip hop, like 1988 era hip hop beats.
Excuse
like
me,
going
what,
back to
Boogie?
Cali. And Mick Boogie, M-I-C-K, Boogie.
Nick, you don't know?
Okay.
Tilda
Yeah.
Swinton looks like the third member of Die Antwoord.
What's her? What the fuck? Yolandi. Yeah.
Yolandi Visser.
Yeah. Oh, dude, fucking Ninja is amazing. They are just like I don't like their music, but like I love because the whole thing is like it's an act. Like it's all those are personas that they adopted, but they've gone so far in on them that like you can't help but respect it. Like
I saw them live, and he was just like wearing boxers on stage, swinging his dick around. That's all he was doing.
Yeah, dude.
What
The
are you
strangest
talking
thing
about?
I've ever seen.
I found
Diane
I doubt that.
I found one
Also-
where there's an animated video of Ninja telling a story about going and playing basketball going over to Kanye's house and then going to Drake's house to play basketball. And it was like, it's fantastic.
I feel like they wouldn't. I don't want to watch any interviews with them because I don't want to break the illusion in my mind
You won't.
that they speak like that they have two voices when they speak, or that they both speak in unison and just stare straight ahead.
Just ask Joel.
Yeah, he did work with them.
Did anybody watch Chappie?
No.
Yeah.
God, no.
Chappie.
No, Chappie was great. I don't know. Like I like Neil Blomkamp and I like DF.
They're always like like his movies are always like bittersweet though. Like I always end up feeling like they're good, but they're like sad. Like Chappie, I like still felt kind of sad like at the end of, and I haven't gone back and watched it since. But it was a good movie.
Like
He also did Elysium, which I thought was kind of
like
slept on. That was kind of baller too.
It wasn't really slept on. A lot of people liked it, I think.
Yeah, it was
It got a lot of hate when it came out. It got like pretty like the reviews weren't great for it. But I think
thought District 9 was the
aged
best, though.
Yeah, District 9 is fantastic.
I
It's
think
sad still. It's still sad though.
I think Elysium is a more accurate portrait of the future than a lot of other sci-fi. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
It's like in the Gattaca. It's like in the Gattaca camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Die Antwoord when they talk is like I can't even replicate what in my mind it sounds like.
I changed my Siri voice from British English to South African English now that that's an option.
I changed my Google Home to a man's voice.
I just want to let that one hang out there
There
for a
we
while.
go.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
I just needed a big, strong voice to tell me what to do.
That felt
Yeah.
good.
No, I'm telling it what to do.
Okay.
You know, like turn on the lights and shit.
Hurry up.
Put on Netflix and play something.
All right, what else are we gonna do? What else are we gonna talk about?
I don't know. I kind of got ahead of myself with the roach thing. I'm pretty much done. For
Yeah, that would have been good for like right now.
And I am spent.
So you want to know how many rats we ended up having at one point?
Yes.
No. I'm good.
50.
Wait, how many?
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, I do want to hear this now. No, go ahead. Why?
So, all right.
That's
So
normal.
I got this rat, right? And I thought it was a girl, and its breed was called a butler rat. So I thought it was called a butler rat because it had a really big butt. It was not its butt. It was giant testicles. Like they were huge. My
Did-
sister.
How old
put
were you?
her-
Did you not
Was
know
there
this
any
about
adults?
rats that like
I
rodents?
was like 8. I was young enough to like.
Okay,
Was
at
there-
8, I
Yeah,
had
but
noticed by
where-
now that rodents had fat nuts.
Was there
Yeah,
any
but
adults
all
in your
of
life?
I had grown up with rats, and all of the rats I'd ever had were girls, so I really didn't know.
Do
What about your
girl rats have
parents?
just fat pussies? Like, do they just have this fucking meaty?
You can't even
It's
see
my
it.
night.
I never want you to say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Really,
got
like-
super hot.
But my little sister was like, "Oh, Alicia's rat is all bored and lonely. I'm gonna put my rat in with it."
Oh,
And then her rat had babies.
Where
And
are your
then to
fucking parents,
prevent my other sister's rat from like scaring the mom into killing all of her babies. She had to go into the cage with my rat. And then a couple weeks later, that one had babies. And by the end of it, there's about 50 of them. My mom supposedly gave them to the pet store. I'm pretty sure she just went
flushed
down
them.
Released
She flushed the fuck out of those rats.
No.
She found your neighbor that had a snake and let nature sort itself out.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say next week you had a pet owl.
There's a forest right down the road. Like it was like.
Why the fuck would you want more rats in the forest?
And there's animals out there that'll eat
Are
them.
there even rats in the forest? I'm pretty sure they like to live in urban areas, right?
They live everywhere.
Yeah, they were all over the neighborhood to begin with.
How'd your parents let all this happen?
What do you mean?
Where were they? Did your parents know that it wasn't a fucking boy? I mean, you know, it wasn't a girl? No, I guess.
Probably working. At least they got like this giant 3-story ferret cage.
Oh, they were never around. Makes sense.
The bars are just small enough that they couldn't get out. Well, one got out. The runt got out. We found it though, like a week later, trying to climb out of the toilet.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an all black rat, and he was like, "Water! Oh my god, I'm gonna swim."
You should have seen how many times they had to try and flush them baby ones. They were fighters.
I was just thinking, is Graham leading into a daddy issues joke?
I was. Thanks for blowing it, though. But I can guarantee you that black rat did not go in that water on its own.
Oh, nah, he climbed. He fell in. We heard the plop. And
I don't know.
Scurrying, trying to get out, but was stuck because of the porcelain.
That was a little off taste.
That's kind of why I like hamsters. Is they're solitary, so there's no pressure to have multiple ones of them. They're perfectly cool. They like prefer hanging out by themselves, so you don't have to worry about like any of that like breeding stuff or anything. They're
They
just
don't get lonely like that.
No, if you put two hamsters together, if they're two males, they'll try to kill each other. If they're different sexes, they will briefly bang and then try to kill each other.
I didn't know that.
Bro, I think I remember.
So how do they survive in the? I always wonder, like animals like that have such a hard time like getting along with each other. Like, how do they end up even surviving in the wild? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just have their own.
Manor, my friend.
They have their own little burrows. They go out, they hunt and shit. And they very rarely run into each other.
Gotcha.
I think I subconsciously wanted those hamsters to die. Because you just reminded me of like one of my fucking like super early memories in grade school. Like one of my probably my most prominent memory from grade school was like second grade. We were having show and tell, and someone brought in their fucking hamster.
And you killed it?
They had just had babies.
And you killed them?
And I got sent to the office to take my Ritalin.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to this fucking kid with like his fucking container of hamsters waiting for his mom to come. And I'm watching this mother hamster just devour her babies.
What? In the office with the kid?
Yeah. I was like, "Are you going to stop them?" And he went, "No, this just happens." And I went, "What the fuck is wrong with hamsters?"
That didn't happen.
They don't deserve to live.
Maybe the babies taste really good.
Maybe they do. Maybe we have it wrong.
Maybe that didn't really happen, and you imagined all that, and you're a psychopath because you think the kid was just sitting there letting his hamsters eat each other.
Yeah.
Why would the mother? Where are the fucking parents in all these stories?
We were at school,
and that's normal that you're in the office to take your medicine, and there's a hamsters being eaten next to you.
Yes, my mother worked at the school, so my Ritalin was stored in the office. I had to go after lunch to get it. We just had show and tell, and he had hamsters, and he was waiting for his mom to come and pick them up. Because
that's all the normal.
Female hamsters do that when they have babies.
The fact that you don't realize the abnormal part of that story is what bothers me.
What's abnormal about this?
The show and tell.
Wait,
it's not abnormal.
Rodent is stressed and she thinks that her babies are threatened, she kills them all. It's to prevent them from getting like taken away or harmed by something else.
If I can't have you, no one will.
You understanding that worries me.
Well, there's also the whole.
I understand that because my mom explained that to me when I was 4, and my sister's rat ate her 4 babies.
There's also the resource competition thing too. If there isn't a whole bunch of food around, they start doing stuff like that and knocking out the sick ones first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just smart. I would do that too.
Call the week.
Why don't we do that?
Because our babies don't taste as good.
Yeah, and they're not small.
They don't always like eat them unless there's low on food.
It's like veal; they're
because
just flavorless.
People have social security numbers, Alicia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't just take the babies to a cliff and throw them onto the rocks anymore. Apparently, we've moved
No,
beyond.
you can't throw them in dumpsters either.
You can if it's multiple dumpsters.
Thanks, Obama.
Only Thanos can wipe them all out.
Gotta pop the torso.
Every time somebody from my office somebody from my company is like, hey, do you want to put a link to your podcast like on our webpage? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I don't think so.
Do you still want to have a business?
Let me just save you the trouble. No.
Yeah. No, not this one. All right, you can go on. I mean, I guess I'm the weirdo for thinking that's weird, but
All right, next topic. Did Thanos do anything wrong?
No.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
No.
I mean, yes, because he has the Infinity Gauntlet, and he could literally have just doubled the amount of resources.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
what
that
about if he
doesn't solve the problem because we would still overbreed and match the amount of resources and
I'm
continue
sorry.
it on.
Australia.
But it doesn't solve the problem to just using that same logic. If you take away half the population, they're just going to eventually overbreed again and overtake the resources.
Yeah, but then he just gives it another snap,
Yeah.
and everything's fine again.
And instead of now dealing with 20 billion humans, he just has to keep dealing with,
Like Thanos was an eco-terrorist.
you're
See,
an
if
eco-terrorist.
he only called the people without mental health issues, and all we had left was a bunch of suicidal, really sad people, we'd be fine.
Oh yeah. What's going on?
Did
Yeah,
anybody-
we would repopulate. It'd be good.
Did anybody watch Iron Fist season 2 yet?
No.
No, the reviews
I
scared me off
started-
season 1, and I didn't get involved.
Season 1
I
was
started it, but I'm only a few episodes in, so don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it. I'll wait until you finish it and we'll talk about it at some point. It's season 1 was pretty bad. It was poor writing, poor fight choreography. Like there's a lot of issues with season 1. The Defenders had its issues. Season 2, I'm actually like pretty happy about. Sorry,
Yeah.
it was Marvel segue since somebody brought up Thanos. This is what you get.
Yeah, there were pros to season 1 though. The Asian chick was really hot.
You think so?
Yeah.
Colleen Wing? I
That's
thought they could have
so
picked somebody.
redundant.
I thought they could have picked it because I was actually thinking that, like watching, and I know I'm going to sound like a terrible person, but as I'm watching season 2, I'm like, they could have picked a prettier actress than this.
Dude, fucking phone me when there's an Asian girl that's not really hot, all right?
Oh God, really?
That's a good point.
Somehow that is the single least surprising thing you've ever said to me.
Actually,
Yeah, I don't.
I got that yellow fever. What can I say?
You're that guy, huh?
What's the shitty movie with the big robots, Rick?
The second
Rim.
Pacific Rim was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Somehow she was a 10 in the first one and a fucking 6 in the second one.
That happens with Asians.
Riddle me that.
Everything in that movie, everything in the second one is worse.
Young Asians look like Tila Tequila, and old ones look like Yoda.
Well,
That's
no.
why there's no in the middle.
Yeah, but she's not that old. Asians look like they're 20 until they're like 65.
Latinas
And they
too.
immediately turn into fucking Yoda. It's an odd thing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Except
You ever know an
Latinas
Asian
never
that
turn
died?
Latinas never turn into Yoda.
No,
They don't. You'll see like
they get real bad.
you'll go to a Latina funeral and be like, "Oh man, how did she die?" And they're like, "Old age." And you'll look back and be like, "At 40?"
Yeah. And you'll never hear that at an Asian funeral because Asians don't die. You ever known one?
They
Oh,
don't
you're
die.
terrible.
They just keep getting wrinklier and wrinklier
Yeah.
until they
Yeah.
turn back into a baby and start over again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they're just a complete fucking circle. Yeah.
It's because they
Yeah.
take the fish oil in the
I've
food.
never known an Asian that died. Anyone? No one. You guys haven't either. I guarantee
I've
it.
never met a dead Asian.
No.
There is a potential Fantastic Four teaser, like Easter egg
fuck.
in the Iron Fist season 2, though.
But will there be a hot Asian girl?
I'm sure there will be,
They're gonna change Sue Storm's casting to a hot Asian girl.
just for Colton.
Permanent age.
I'm alright
Am
with
I-
that. I'm changing all
didn't-
the hot Asian girls just to have.
I didn't hate that last final Fantastic Four movie that came out. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I would like to see what the original cut was supposed to be.
Yeah, it apparently got absolutely butchered in post or whatever, but
Yeah, like he disavowed it. Like the director disavowed the movie and like rolled out on it. So I would like to see what it was supposed to be like. And I've never been a Fantastic Four fan at all, but I'm just like, I've been going through like a bunch of like classic Marvel stuff, and I'd never read Fantastic Four, and I just read Jonathan Hickman's run, and it's really, actually like really fucking good.
Is that when they turn into the Future Foundation?
Yeah.
Okay.
The death of Johnny Storm, and it's like the Council of Reeds, and there's like all the there's like the multiverse with all the different Reeds, and yeah, it's just, it had a lot of neat stuff. I mean, part of it's just because I really like how Jonathan Hickman writes. He does a really good like overarching story. I like all of his major events he did for Marvel. I thought were really well done. But it actually made me like a little bit more like, okay, now that Marvel has Fantastic Four back, they could actually work them into the universe, because they are important characters. But I could see them actually being able to do it properly and get them worked in right. So that's why there was like the little teaser, and it's cool because there's a building. There's a building that's in construction on Baxter Street, so it's going to be the Baxter.
Oh
building.
Shit! Yeah, that's the Baxter building.
And that's where like some of the stuff like goes down in this like partially, and there's signs like opening 2019 or whatever. So I'm guessing we could get some little teasers in the next Infinity War or something like that, and Infinity War Part 2. Oh, what about the Captain Marvel trailer?
I'm fucking psyched for it. It looked pretty cool. I'm always for like more exploration of the goofy ass cosmic stuff.
Oh, that Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Not the other Captain Marvel?
Not Shazam.
Not Shazam.
Not Shazam. Nobody
likes Shazam.
Nobody cares about DC. And what about the DC EU falling apart completely? Henry Cavill's out. Ben Affleck's out.
Actually, that movie, the Shazam movie, looks okay. It looks way better than anything DC's done in forever. But at the same time, it's DC, so it's probably going to fall on its ass.
I just don't like DC. I just don't care for most DC stuff.
I just checked the fucking Browns and Jets score. It's 14-3.
Oh, it's a rough game,
dude. Tyrod Taylor is 4 for 14.
Yeah, and Darnold's not any better.
Yeah, well, but I think they put in Baker Mayfield near the end of the half, and he's 3 for 4 with about almost 3 times as many yards as Tyrod Taylor. Oh yeah, Sam Darnold is 5 for 12. Holy shit! There's a total of like 110 passing yards in the entire game. What the actual fuck?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
It's been an embarrassment to watch.
I'm excited for the Captain Marvel thing just because, like, I have high hopes they're going to do this scroll thing, so it's actually cool. Yeah, because that seems like it could be a whole lot of fun, and I do like the fact that they showed her punching an old woman in the trailer.
Right.
So I'm into that.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's set back in the 90s too, so they'll have, for like sequels, they could go whatever, they could do more stuff in the past, or they could go to the current, you know what I mean? They're opening the timelines up. And the de-aging technology has gotten a lot, like it's really getting pretty good, because like young Samuel L. Jackson and young Agent Coulson are looking pretty good in that trailer. The young Kurt Russell in the second Guardians movie looked pretty good too.
The trick is spackle. They just take spackle and fill the fucking cracks.
They just tell the actor to lose 25 pounds, so they get a little gaunt. They just spackle it back on.
Just fucking dehydrate themselves so their skin gets real tight. Did we ever talk about that super racist DIY e-juice post?
No.
Concrete, you saw that one, right? I think you were the one that tipped me off to it, and then I was like, yep, I gotta remove this.
Well, thank you for stepping in and not making it decide. Oh, as a community, we need to discuss whether this ass clown deserves to have his stupid question up.
Yeah. No, I was like, what? Get this fucking quasi-racist bullshit the fuck out of here. No, I said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well,
get the fuck out of here with this quasi-racist bullshit. So,
I like there was the other comment too that's like, I almost want to see whatever kind of gimmick name you were going to give this.
Yeah, right.
It's like
it's not racist. Let's see what you name it, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of
What'd
you,
they name it?
for those of you not in the know, okay. Considering I'm a moderator, I won't show you guys the removed post, but I'll just go to removedit.com and then copy the URL from this. Actually. Oh, don't worry about me. Don't mind me.
I just like the free and open policy on the damn way he just it's fantastic. This is what we're working with now. And then 3 posts a day asking for simple recipes.
Yeah, but I mean, at least there's 3 posts a day now. It was dude, that sub was dead. It was going to the grave quick.
So what's the post?
Oh shit. Okay, here, I guess I'll share it with you guys too.
Yeah, I don't know. No one reported it to me.
I posted it in the fucking Discord. Maybe if you read the Discord, dickhead. All right, so this guy has what is up with this terrible fucking color scheme? Does it get better like that? Yeah, that does get better. Okay.
It's awful.
So he posted fried chicken. Weird question. What would you do to emulate a fried chicken crust component? Cornflakes is the closest I can find, but that's not exactly right. Normal question. All right. This guy wants to make fried chicken juice. I want to try a stereotype juice. Grape soda, ripe watermelon, and a hint of that crust taste to see what happens.
This gets really racist, doesn't it?
It's still going to taste better than God milk.
And he says, today we hit a new low, boys. Shouldn't this be in /r/racism? And then this takes it one step further, and he goes, you forgot the moon pie. And then he's like, not trying to be racist because not racist. Trying to explore flavor combinations. It just so happens that there's a stereotype that is a flavor combination. Ain't we here to take influence and try new things?
Just teach the controversy.
I mean, good on Iowa Beans. I'm not sure why he deleted this comment himself because it says deleted by user, but simply stating you weren't trying doesn't mean the act wasn't. There is no flavor combination that involves those 3. It's called distasteful. The influence you are offering us to work with is the stereotype that black people like fried chicken, watermelon, and grape soda. This isn't blatant racism, but I would suggest you think hard about what you're asking of the community. I can't even imagine the punchline name you had ready for this juice. Probably why you disclosed it.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I do kind of want to know what the
I'm super
I kind of want to
curious.
know what the punchline name was. I kind of want to know.
The punchline is that he should have been stillborn.
Yeah.
Punchline to what?
But yeah, like I don't know. That
Well, it goes to, and we talked about this, like, because you posted, you put this up in the Discord earlier this week when it happened, and like I said, this goes back to, like, I have an issue with Flavor West fucking with or who is it, Mount Baker Vapor.
Mount Vapor Baker.
Mount Baker Vapor fucking
juice.
thug juice. I got an issue with that. I've always had an issue with that.
It's not blatantly racist, but it's like quasi racist because
I feel like that's blatantly racist because of the way that the word, like how the word thug gets used.
That's a good point,
now.
and the connotation.
Thug has become like a code word for people that don't want to show that they actually want to use the N word nowadays. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have a watermelon grape menthol flavor and you call it thug juice.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good point.
I feel like that's I feel like that's completely fucking inappropriate, and like I don't know how it's been able to fly for as long as it has. Like, people are okay with that. Everybody, little tongue in cheek. I'm like, no, it's fucking blatant fucking racism.
It's not tongue in cheek. That's not.
That's on the nose.
That's what people are like, oh no, it's a little, it doesn't mean anything harmful or whatever. I'm like, no, it totally does, because thug has become a code word that people use now.
That's not tongue in your cheek. That's tongue in your tongue in my cheek. That's how fucking blatant that is.
Right.
You're exploring my oral cavity.
And you think
it's like
menthol
making a grape flavor called Gangstaline or something? It's fucking offensive.
And you think that it's not the same thing with the jungle juice?
It absolutely is the same
dude,
thing with jungle
I
juice.
No,
think so,
it's
too.
not because
It's
jungle
water.
juice.
It's menthol watermelon. Yes,
No,
it
it
is.
isn't. It's
It
a
is.
mix of
It
fruit
absolutely
flavors.
is.
No, it is. It's menthol watermelon. I have it. I've known about it for years.
Drink
It's
it.
like
menthol watermelon.
I mean, watermelon is like one of the lesser flavors in it. See, like, I don't have as much of it. I don't really have an issue with that because I remember going to like summer camp and we would call it jungle juice, and it would just be like multiple different like Kool-Aid flavors mixed together. I've always thought that was just like a camp thing, but I
Yes,
could
I
see.
didn't know that.
I always thought that was what you mix with vodka.
Yes, I mean, and that's what they called it. Like, when you went to when you went to like a frat party in college or whatever, and they had made like all the fucking
Exactly. You just
Kool-Aid
gotta
with the fucking Everclear in it was jungle.
Yep.
juice or
you got a
whatever.
giant you got a giant one of those like McDonald's pitchers with a little spout on it. You throw in a bunch of Everclear and vodka and just whatever juice, like cheap store juice you can get your hands on.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that's what they called that.
Yeah, that's
What is on Alicia stealing?
Well, like
She's
a lot of
checking her-
ambiguous.
checking her
she's in New
feeling.
York. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
My neighbor.
You said, wow, Sony's getting real fucking intrusive with this advertisement.
No,
Yeah.
my neighbors have 3 boys that are all like
That's why it's so
entering their teenage years.
Oh,
and
they've jerked off to you.
wrestling up there. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
wrestling up there right now,
Holes
and
in the
there is
wall.
like stomping and
Go up there and snap a
They're
couple.
they're
dish
they're
towels
entering
in
they're
half.
entering their teenage years. They've spanked it to you more than Mark Grimes has.
Yeah, you got to be more worried when it's That's a good one. When they stop making. Never mind. Fuck it.
Mark, don't
Grimes-
fucking say
Grimes-
anything in chat and make this weird.
That just trumps everything I was gonna say. Forget it.
But I've never really had an issue with like the jungle juice name because of my like association with it. But I could see
I don't have that same association. with
if somebody were to say that, like I'm not going to disagree with them that if they find that to be offensive,
it. I mean,
because I
didn't even
find thug juice offensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
didn't
it's
think
one of
that.
those ones with multiple meanings, and one of them is ambiguously racist. But yeah,
I didn't
But I
think
feel
about
like
it until you guys were
but I
talking
don't
about
feel like there's any I don't feel like there's any ambiguity with thug juice or with like fucking jerk off on Reddit trying to make a fried chicken watermelon grape juice.
no, those aren't.
Like those are
aren't subtle at all.
unambiguously
Yeah.
exactly. Because there is an issue with like
Do you feel like it's an issue with like him just not knowing what racism is, or an issue with him
No.
thinking that it's just funny? Because
It's him-
no,
yeah.
because
I think there's an issue with him being a piece of shit.
no,
Well, it's him growing up.
The
like
issue
like
that's
real
funny.
talk. Before I left my hometown, my small hometown, that's the kind of shit that like I would
Yeah.
consider funny. But since
what it
I like broadened my worldview, I actually like understand more thoroughly the idea of racism and like its definition and the implications of everything you say, and how like you
And why
really
it's
have
not
to
funny?
you really have to think about the implications that you of the things that you say.
But if you grow up around all people that think that's funny, that's your idea of what humor is before you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You don't,
So
they
is
don't
it is it just like
Yeah.
him thinking that it just not caring that it's racist and thinking that it's
probably
funny,
doesn't-
or is it him actually not knowing that it's racist and
Yeah.
just thinking like, oh, it's a harmful joke?
he
Either-
probably
either-
he could
either
be dead
or.
serious. Yeah, he
Either
probably
or.
doesn't know it's racist.
I mean, when I was working my previous job, when I was running tree crews, all of my employees were Latin American, right? Everybody was from either El Salvador or Nicaragua or Honduras. And so I was like the only gringo, and like part of my job was to go and talk to the property owners before we would go to work on the property. And I don't know how many times, like I can't even count. I used to come home and tell my wife about it.
Oh no.
It would be because it'd be like an older white guy that owned the property, and I'd sit there and talk with him, and he'd just like pop off with like ridiculous racist shit. And I could see like the mental process, like, hey, I'm a white guy, you're a white guy, we obviously think the same white guy things about all this kind of stuff. And then he would say like some ridiculous shit about like my Spanish guys, and I'm like, yeah, I ride out for them before I'll fuck with you, like at all, you know what I mean? But in his head, he's like, I'm a white guy, you're a white guy, obviously we think the same stuff about this. And I run into that with a lot of people that don't necessarily have any interaction with people that aren't like them on a regular basis.
They're just
Past
naive.
just just
Most
people-
of them are naive and not actually hateful about it, and then some are hateful for no reason.
Okay. Then that's what it is. Is this post naive or is it hateful?
No, here it's more complex than that.
It can be ignorant, but the thing is, it's perceived as hateful.
But it's not any of those. It's the fact that he doesn't realize that what he's saying is racist, but that's the way he probably puts it.
Naive.
No, I know, no. But what I'm saying, it's more. He knows that it's funny because it's racist, but he's probably not racist.
He thinks it's funny.
Right. Well, but in his head, he knows that he knows that all his family would laugh at something like that. But he probably isn't like a hateful racist person. But he just thinks that's
like
you know
he
what
probably
I mean? Like,
he probably grew up in a white suburb that doesn't like.
Like
if you don't say the N word, you don't talk about those N words that moved in down the street.
You know what?
He learned how to do this off the internet. It's not like he lives in Nebraska.
It sounds like something my dad would do. My dad
is that a crunk shout out?
My sister had this boyfriend that was like half black, half Asian.
Oh no.
And like my dad,
the Blasian.
Yeah, he was a Blasian.
What the fuck?
My dad, whenever this kid was around, would drop the N word, and he'd be like, "Oh, my N word," like stuff like that. Like he was
thinking he's funny.
He's being funny, and the entire time, this kid, he was a very good kid. Like he was super polite about it. He like didn't make a fuss about it, even though he was clearly uncomfortable, and he like he remained being like friendly and stuff to my dad, and we're like, Dad, you really can't say that shit.
Did he take his basketball shoes off before he came in the house?
No, I don't think he could jump very well.
Just kidding. Sorry. That's good. I'm sorry.
like-
That's good. That's good. Sorry. It's good material.
But I'm interested. Like, why did your dad decide that he would go that way instead of being like calling him a
mathematician,
calling him a chink or something? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
Like,
don't know, but
like how did he decide that one was the okay one to go with?
Like what's up, my mathlete? Like why wouldn't he go there?
No, he
What's up, spelling bee?
He uses words like chink like it's okay and normal.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if there's like a chink in the fence.
No.
Little nippy out here.
If there's like a chink in the fence, like he was climbing it and he got stuck.
Let's just put it
but
this
he
way.
wouldn't be
My
climbing
dad
it anyway.
almost got fired from his job for calling his boss the N-word too many times.
Well, see, that's
Like, but he doesn't.
where does he
do it-
work?
He's not doing it in a mean way. He's not doing it in like a hateful way. He's doing it
How'd
in like a brotherly way, and he's not good about it. Like I'm like, Dad, you're like an old white man. You can't do that.
But see, that's a good example of what it is, where he knows it's racist, but he's trying to be funny being racist because everyone thinks it's funny.
Yeah,
But except for people that don't think it's funny. Yeah, that's a good
like
example.
he's not being racist about it.
Is your dad autistic?
It's called
I
bush
don't
league
think so.
ignorance.
How do you
there.
know?
Really, like that? Like that's a word. Like
It's the worst.
okay, look, if you're white, like you don't get to use that word at all.
No.
Yeah,
Also,
you'd be
he
very
adds sand-
surprised at the
he's-
kids nowadays.
He added sand to it. This guy that like this Middle Eastern dude almost ran my sisters and I over, driving like speeding through a park.
Okay, no, your dad is racist.
And
If that
my
was his
dad
fallback that he
yelled
went
at
to
him
with
that.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
your
he
dad,
jumped
your
right to
yeah.
that. And I was like,
yeah,
Dad,
your dad's
no.
your dad's
That's,
racist.
that's
Yeah,
not,
like
it's
my
not,
best
it's
friend.
not, yeah, he's not good natured. Your dad's racist, and that's his way
Yeah.
of having an outlet without seeming outwardly racist in public.
Yeah, because he
Okay.
knows it's racist. Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
dad-
racist.
But he doesn't
It's
hate
not-
anybody.
No, he does. He just didn't tell you that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he just
Yeah.
bottles it up well.
He tells you that it's all good. That everything's united.
Yeah,
colors.
when you guys would ride through the Bronx, would you hear the door locks go chunk?
And you're surprisingly okay
if
with
that's
it.
his-
So.
If that's his immediate fallback to a situation like that, instead of if that's like the first, if that's the first thing that he goes to in a situation like that, instead of just like
And
some
he's not
generic,
playing
like,
Halo 3.
motherfuckers and all that stuff.
Keep in mind, he was pissed this dude almost ran over a bunch of children.
Yeah, but no, that
Yeah,
okay, well,
that's still
there's a whole
that was
lot of
still his
different
mad
words.
I'd say
reaction.
asshole.
That was
There's a
his.
whole lot of
I
different
agree.
words you can use
I
before you go
absolutely
to a
agree,
racial
No.
epithet.
when he
No, you don't.
interacts, like he's visited me in New York many times. And
Oh, God.
You're being a racist apologist right now.
Yeah, like
No, listen.
you didn't know that it was okay.
You said keep in
There
mind.
are,
Yeah. You didn't realize that was what it is until just now. Don't try to bullshit us. You were thinking it was
No,
like
so
he's not a racist. He said this.
Kevin visited me many times out here, and there are many different like.
Oh yeah, we know New York.
Like own all the businesses out here. from
Well.
all over the place. My dad would
And he
go
said, "Let's go to
and
that kite store."
Yeah.
and he would sit there and make friends with all the people behind the counter, like sit there and chat him up for a
Well,
while.
how nice of him.
Well,
Buddy,
yeah,
but
my dad's nice
he's
to
not-
black people when he wants a discount too.
Yeah.
No.
He's in a strange
No, he
land.
asked him questions about the area, like asking him, like making friends with
So
them.
he treated them like human beings, really?
Yes,
That's
he
awesome of him.
treated everyone like human beings.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but
the
then
fact that you
one of-
noticed
if one
that.
of the- if one
There's-
of them had done something, then he immediately would have gone to racial epithets instead of. There's a whole lot of names that you can call somebody before you go directly to racial epithets.
The fact that you know that he was
He
being
probably
nice to
would've
them,
called a white person
and it
a
was
crackhead,
different.
too if they almost did the same thing.
It was different in New York, huh? The way he acted? He acted different there? That you noticed it?
He didn't act different here versus everywhere else.
Probably 'cause he
He's
knew he
got
was
that friendly,
outnumbered.
Charismatic attitude. And he's like super charismatic. He's
Look,
like,
now you're yeah.
Does he have a red hat that
So
says
does David Duke.
Great again on it?
No, he doesn't have one of those.
Wow.
ones.
Okay.
Although he does have a Trump doll that's like a Trump voodoo doll, and he has a blow dart gun.
Yeah, don't try to make it. Don't fix it.
What the fuck?
It's not gonna work.
He joked that he used it for target practice. He never has. Somebody gave it to him
No,
as a
and
gift,
no.
and he just is like, I don't know what to fucking do with this. So it's
That's-
Put it in the trash can is what you do.
yeah. Although the
I
Trump
hate
doll
when
is kind
people
of
give
cool.
me-
It's not actually like a Trump voodoo doll. It's just that's what it looks
Sex
like
doll.
with a blow dart gun.
Yeah, I just hate when people give me like gimmicky, like
Sex doll.
gag, like gift sort of stuff, just directly in the trash. Like
Yeah,
you
that's like,
wasted your
yeah.
money.
that's strippers with gimmicks.
Hey, I
agree.
have a Trump dog
You know
toy.
all about
my
those,
dog.
Graham.
I
like
do.
that.
I hate them. The ones with the gimmicks. They come out with a snake on them. Ugh. Get out of here. But
But the issue is that people don't interact with people outside of their. But then again, if you live like in Nebraska or like Iowa somewhere, there's not like a whole lot of opportunity to mix with
Mm-mm.
people outside of your particular socioeconomic demographic. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's hard for people to realize like people are people, man. People are just people. I mean, there's cultural differences and stuff even within different groups within the US, but like people are
oh
just
yeah.
people,
Shit,
you
even
know.
within the same groups, like look at the religious differences that exist within.
But the more time, what was it, Mark Twain, the racism can't survive travel or whatever, you know what I mean? Travel the world and race. I forget what the quote is, but something like the more you go around and the more stuff you see, it's hard to,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And that's, once again, like I was fortunate to grow up in a very diverse, you know, and like people say that now, like it's such a bad, like, oh, diversity or whatever. Like diversity is fucking good because of it, I can get along with anybody. I can get along pretty much anywhere I go because I'm able to just interact with people as being people without carrying around like presupposed notions and shit.
Yeah.
You also can like
Well,
study science and see that diversity is like a good thing in almost every single way.
Well, diversity
Yeah,
has
I would
also
say-
diversity has also become a cover term for white is not the majority,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Which scares a lot of
that's
people.
yeah, and that's where it becomes a problem for a lot of people. When,
Hey, I'm
like-
just saying, my little mulatto toddler, man, he's gonna have the hybrid vigor when he grows up.
Nice.
I'm not supposed to say mulatto with all you white people. My wife
Yeah,
told me.
no, I'm
So-
not gonna repeat that.
Yeah.
I learned that was racist this year
Because
because
that a long
because
time ago.
no
Those are
because
cookies.
like it never came up since I left my hometown. Like I'd never heard someone say that it was racist.
Yeah.
And so like
Well,
in
his
my
grandma-
hometown,
like,
the
when
half
his-
black kids were either called
Yeah, we
red
know.
bones or mulatto, and I knew
Yeah.
red bones was fucking racist.
No,
never heard
Redbone's not racist.
How the fuck is that not racist? That sounds
Dude.
racist as shit.
Sounds it.
I'll take me a fine thick red bone any day, son.
See,
Well.
and then in Archer, there's mulatto bitches, white black booties.
It's because mulatto is such a data. Because if you look at the history of where mulatto came from and
Yeah.
how it was used or whatever,
It was
so
used
it's
for
one of those
livestock.
things.
Octoroon's definitely racist.
Well,
and-
yeah,
his
Archer
gro-
brought back Quadroon and Octoroon too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I just finished listening to there's a podcast series called Revolutions. It's the same guy that did the History of Rome, Mike Duncan. He did History of Rome, and now he's doing one called Revolutions. And he had like a 54 part. It was like a 54 part series on the Haitian Revolution. So like going through that and seeing the way that the racial structures were broken. There was a book that was given out to explain like all the different racial makeups for each of the groups and like all the different names for all the different breakdowns and everything. That's where mulatto and octoroon and quadroon and everything came from, was from that. And so I mean, I highly recommend it. Anybody get your podcast app, your favorite podcast app, and go find Mike Duncan's Revolutions and listen to the Haitian Revolution, because then you'll also see like exactly why Haiti is in the state that it's in today as well.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty. It was actually really fascinating. And there's a big Haitian population in Northeast Philadelphia, which has been like every Uber driver I've gotten for like the last 6 months has been Haitian. So we've had some very interesting conversations about the Haitian Revolution, the current state of Haiti nowadays because of my podcast listening. It's always fun when you can actually talk to somebody on a deeper level about some stuff that they don't expect some white dude to know about.
They love the Clintons.
And how bad is that area as far as natural disasters go? Like, just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just, and the thing is, like, the part that makes it even worse is then you compare it to the Dominican Republic, which is the same fucking island, right? The island of Hispaniola. One side's Dominican Republic and one side's Haiti, and Haiti's just been fucked up ever since. And like Dominican Republic's good, mad fucking baseball players. You know what I mean? Mad professional baseball players. And
amazing coach.
And Haiti can barely have clean water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And it's easy to look and be like, well, it's the Haitians. Well, no, there's a whole lot of stuff that's gone into it, the state that Haiti's in now, you know? Yeah. I mean, there is current responsibility, but there's also, if you look, and it, you know, it goes to that whole, like, well, slavery was, you know, X number of years ago. And it's like, yeah, but that put in place a whole lot of stuff that's difficult to correct in a couple hundred years. Especially when shit's perpetuated a lot longer than that. You know what I mean? Just because slavery,
like disenfranchised Puerto Ricans in the Bronx.
If you go back to it, this is like our first 200 years without racism.
Start a lot of Latin gangs. I remember that.
Dude, speaking of fucking racism, like
slavery.
I didn't.
Yeah, there's still plenty of racism.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, I was just like thinking, what did I just say?
Yeah. You said the wrong thing. That's what you said.
Like, I didn't realize until fucking maybe 5 years ago that how, like, well, probably about 4 years ago, how ahead of their time fucking Rage Against the Machine was with Killing in the Name. I was like, also, that song does something physically to me.
Dude, that whole album.
Listening to that
whole fucking album.
The second album is very solid. It's held up really. It wasn't. I was disappointed when it first came out, but it's held up really well over the years.
It's one of the craziest concerts I've ever been to.
I will say that Rage Against the Machine wasn't necessarily ahead of their time. They just broke that kind of thought through to a whole new audience.
Yeah,
and they made rock rap not terrible.
Yeah,
Well,
that's where they were ahead of their time,
though, right? Yeah, like it was like probably 6-7 years, right? Probably more than that before any of the other rock rap started. Right?
And then Zebrahead came out and brought it back into that terribleness.
The only thing then was like that whole
it was like Chili Peppers.
With Slayer.
They're Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine is class of '92.
Yeah. And the only thing like right before that was
Run DMC.
Was it Run DMC?
Run DMC with Aerosmith.
Yeah, they were the first.
There's that one. No, there was another one too.
There wasn't a lot, and there hasn't been a whole lot.
Living Color.
Fishbone.
Living Color did it a little bit too.
A little, but they were more just like a black hard rock band, like a black metal band.
Oh, a little seems racist, Rick.
Yeah,
just assumed.
Probably.
They're an interesting band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, Bad Brains was always like the OG, man, because it's like you see like all the like the hardcore shows, punk shows and shit, and then like fucking Bad Brains.
Yeah.
When did
scary black dudes?
When did Anthrax and Public Enemy?
That's what I was thinking of. That was 90.
Like right around the same.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of was fucking Anthrax and Public Enemy.
What'd they do? What was the name of that song again?
Bring the Noise.
Bring the Noise.
Other ones, yeah. But that was like.
Do you remember the Judgment Night soundtrack?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the movie
House
Judgment
of
Night?
Pain. Yeah, the House of Pain did.
But that was the whole. That was back. Does anybody remember when like it was a whole thing for like movies to have soundtrack albums, where it's like
Yeah.
music inspired by, and like those they used to go like platinum, like on the regular.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
But that was the whole
New
point
Jack
of the
City?
Judgment Night. Like the whole point
Like
of the
Men in
Judgment Night
Black.
soundtrack was they got rock bands and rap bands,
yeah,
like
like
rap groups and rock
How-
bands together. So it was like Cypress Hill and
House of Pain.
Oh man,
it was like
How
Cypress
much
Hill and a
better
rock
the
band.
Wild Wild
It
West
was, like, all
soundtrack
kinds.
was than the movie.
So
Wow.
Martin Fender brought up a good point in the chat. The Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys were actually doing some of that before
The
'92.
Beastie
Yeah, a little
Boys
bit.
broke so much. The Beastie Boys broke so much ground.
Yeah.
They did so. Like Paul's Boutique is almost like Paul's Boutique is a
Perfect.
solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's almost perfect. They came out after License
Also,
Hill, right?
also, it was ahead
their
of it
second
was
album.
it was like
Yeah.
a year ahead of its time. Or wait, no.
Which one?
When was the Rodney King beating? I know the riots were in '92.
He was in 90.
Oh,
Took 2
it was
years.
in '90. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, because
April
Killing in
26,
the Name came out
1992.
in '91.
Killing in the name.
So I was like, that was a fucking year before Rodney King. No, I just wasn't alive for Rodney King.
Yeah, but shit was like,
I remember listening to that Rage tape on my Walkman on the bus going to school.
And fucking getting in a fist fight on the bus because it
Ready
got
to
you.
just ready to murk out.
Dude, it
yeah.
got you
Yeah.
so. It gets me so fucking
Yeah.
pumped. I was driving through the parking lot at work, and I was like, "I'm gonna swerve and hit this motherfucker. I'm gonna hit him.
For no reason.
I'm gonna fucking hit him."
I love fight music like that.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know any other song that gets me that fucking pumped.
Drops of
No,
Jupiter.
Eye of the Tiger.
Drops of Jupiter. Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
New Noise by Refused always gets me.
Not
fucking
even like Eye of the Tiger gets me as pumped as Killing in the
Not
Name.
even close.
was
There's
totally
a rap duo out of Brownsville called MOP. They've been around forever, and they have an album called Sparta, and the
Which is
first
on
track called Sparta is like I was listening. I put it in like driving with the wife, and I was like, I just want to. This makes me want to just punch somebody in the face. Like we were headed to the mall or
And
something. Like,
and that's
I'm
how
just gonna punch
that's
the
how
person.
Pretty Matthew dabbled in domestic abuse.
That's how she got Rihanna. I told her.
Oh man.
Yeah, she clearly doesn't listen.
What's your
Let's
recent
put that
hype
link up.
track? What's your recent hype track though? Because I know what mine is. Mine's definitely "Man of the Year" by Schoolboy Q. That song gets me.
Mine's
fucking-
I Ain't Racist.
I don't know.
Probably still that MOP. Probably that MOP joint still. Like it is fucking. It's like you get the ugly face on. You're like. "Mm."
Dude, there's something
Your
about
meat face
Schoolboy
off front,
Q,
huh?
man.
Why you want to
Break the Bank makes me get hyped too.
I don't know this.
Probably kicking ass and sucking dick.
There's some Don Q stuff's been really good recently too. All I know
Or
is
Eating
there's a
Pussy and
new
Kicking
Tool album
Ass.
coming out finally.
Eating Pussy and Kicking Ass by Wheeler Walker
Carter-
Jr.
I thought you were gonna say "All My Exes Are in Texas."
I think what I've been getting like hyped to like more aggressive stuff lately. I've been re-listening to rap music by Killer Mike quite a bit. That gets me a little fucking pumped up.
But RTJ got some
Yeah.
Killer Mike and RTJ, and I'm so happy to see. Sorry, I'm not going to get into my rap nerd shit at all, right?
No, do it.
But
I love it. It triggers him.
But I am so happy to see LP finally get like some mainstream, because like Killer Mike had, he was signed with Big Boy and like Purple Ribbon All Stars, so he was on like Outkast shit. Like people knew who Killer Mike was, but outside of like the underground like backpack scene, like people really didn't know who LP was or like Def Jux Records, and like he's been making fantastic music since like the Company Flow days. So it's nice to see LP get like mainstream success because he's a fantastic producer. I've always enjoyed him as a rapper, so it's nice to see somebody that's really paid their dues like get a payoff for it, and they're just a really good combination together.
They make each other so much better because like fucking LP keeps Killer Mike away from just like rapping over that same old shit, and fucking Killer Mike keeps LP from disappearing up his own ass. Like I like LP's production, I really do, but if he doesn't have something direct to do with it, it can get maybe a little bit too cerebral.
Yeah.
And it's just an awesome fucking combination of people.
Yeah. LP, I've always felt like LP was very underrated, but you're right. He can end up like navel gazing quite a bit if you just let him do his own thing.
like, and I like listening to him navel gaze. Like Cancer for Cure that came out a couple of years is still like one of my favorite albums. But yeah, they just work so much better. Like it's a little bit better than either of them do by themselves.
I really liked his second album, I'll Sleep When You're Dead. There was some really, and that's like a concept album too, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the link for the that MOP song up in the Discord chat for y'all.
I'm mostly just happy they're both getting fucking paid because they're both good dudes and they both did the fucking work.
For real.
And it's not really good, but that Meow the Jewels album was fucking great.
I was just happy that they actually did that. Like everybody.
Yeah. Like it's not something I'm gonna listen to on a regular basis, but it makes me so much happier knowing that exists.
Oh man, I don't think there's any recent music like current music that's like hype music like that. Nothing nowadays gives me like a physical react where like I get the fucking goosebumps on the back of my calves.
You want to just go punch a dude?
Yeah, but
you want to
music
like grab a
hasn't
bottle
really
of whiskey and
changed.
just go ham.
So I don't know.
Like that's the thing. There's always good music. There's bad music. If you stop connecting with music, it's not that like the quality of music has changed. It's just what you relate to. And
It's fine. Yeah, it's finding something relatable.
Yeah.
It's different now. The delivery system's different. It's not the same. Like,
no, it's just harder to find. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not as it's for accessible as it is. You know what I mean? It's just all watered down. There's no like releases anymore. You know what I mean? Like how things used to be.
People have been saying that for the last 50 years, dude.
But it really is different now.
The music I miss is punk and pop punk.
I just wanted to fucking.
Don't worry, there'll be fourth wave ska coming along before too much longer.
Dude, don't fuck with me. If we get third wave punk ska back, I'll be a happy boy.
No, it'll be fourth wave this time, but then it'll be because the third wave ska started it, and that's how we ended up with like Sublime and No Doubt, and you know.
Well, yeah, but it's still
like I want to know what made white kids so angry that punk exploded in the 90s.
We grew up in the 90s, so you have to think that hard about it.
Punk exploded before the 90s.
No, that like that punk became pop music in the 90s.
No, Green Day. Punk was different. It was Green Day. Yeah.
It was Green Day. Yeah.
It was
I'm saying like,
it was Green Day getting sober.
Like there's some 41 fucking.
Green Day is definitely one of those bands.
Real quick,
that's all pop music.
Can we wait? Real quick.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, pop punk.
Quick. Can we just give a shout out to NoFX for still making
NoFX for sure
this long into their career, just still
the second best punk band of all time,
just still like solid.
They're
solid
still
projects.
Touring.
Yeah.
And they're still dressing like punks. That dude has grandkids and he's got a studded leather jacket.
Dude, Fat Mike is one of my idols for sure.
The Beasties are 60. You can think about that.
There he is.
I'm just saying, who would have guessed that all of the members of NoFX would still be alive?
Yeah, right.
Hey man, somehow.
Dude, they must have like a fucking broken vending machine with Narcan in it.
Dude, I still just love on the NoFX I Heard They Suck Live album where like one of the interstitials in between tracks, he's like, "Ooh, you fucking spit on me. You get hepatitis like that. All right, I'm not that punk, all right? Forget it." And then it goes into the next song, and I was just like, I love these fucking guys.
Dude, almost every, like, obviously, okay.
And the song about Tegan or Sarah, where he's like,
I'm creeping out Tegan, or maybe it was Sarah.
Yeah.
No, like, okay, as much as I love NoFX, they've obviously had some stinkers, just some, like, fat stinkers, but that happens when you're like, I'm going to make a punk album every 8-9 months to a year and a half.
Does he only do
for
shows
like
in
40
women's
years?
Does he only do shows in women's clothing?
Dude, Fat Mike's a fucking like.
He's an animal.
I say this without kink shaming, but Fat Mike is pretty open about the fact that he's a fucking weirdo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to respect it when somebody goes that hard. Like you just got to respect it.
Look at E40.
No, they're still the second best punk band.
I wish Operation Ivy had been able to hold together a little bit longer because I really would have liked
before turning full Rancid.
Yeah, I would have liked another actual Op Ivy like project.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel like I'm not ready to have Operation Ivy get bad, so I'm kind of cool that they broke up when they did.
They did.
Yeah,
they
that's how I
did,
feel about
yeah.
Sublime, dude. That's how I feel about Sublime. If he had to die, I'm glad he did what he did.
Do you think they would have gotten as? Do you think Sublime would have been as huge as they were if he hadn't died?
Yes,
Do you
I
think
think
that
well,
album
here's the
still
thing.
would have broke
In
as big as it did?
No, I don't think it would have broke as big as it did. But they weren't super famous when he died anyway, though. You know, they were like
Well, no, he
in
died right before
California.
that.
They were.
He died
yeah,
right before that album came
right.
out.
Yeah, right before Santeria and What I Got and all that. He
Did
died.
you know
He
Punk
wasn't-
actually came from like England, the UK?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Like
Fuck off.
in
The
like
Clash.
It
in
was the
like
Ramones.
in like the
Let's start
50s.
this
Oh,
bullshit
No,
fight.
in like the 50s and the 60s, Punk got
Yeah.
its start.
Yeah, no.
they're
It,
called,
I
Yeah,
read
we should
the
like
history on
Kinks and
Punk.
stuff like that.
yeah.
have you ever seen SLC Punk? That's the entire intro.
I read the history of Punk. Like I read
Just
an
now,
article.
just now
no,
on
no,
Wikipedia.
No,
as you were talking to us.
no. I was trying to remember the name of the band that did My Own Worst Enemy. It was lit. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the front yard last night. Yeah, that was my theme
Yeah.
song.
It's a good song. I enjoyed that song. But
I'm thinking.
that's
I'm over here
what I
thinking
was
like
Googling.
Crass. No.
Dude, fucking Crass. Jesus. I've never made it through an entire Crass album, but I love the fact that they existed.
Came in through the window.
like Punk's I didn't realize that Punk had been around that long
dude.
because it was so big like in the 80s and 90s.
You're such a dude.
Although I will like the thing is like the DC hardcore scene doesn't get
dying.
nearly enough fucking respect for being as formative of
Fugazi. I'm from DC. Fugazi.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, even before Fugazi.
I am a patient boy.
I think it was Seattle that like was the
Grunge,
start of
yeah,
Punk
you're
in,
right.
in the US.
No, that was grunge.
No.
It was LA, New York.
You better be doing a bit.
It was LA and New York?
You better
Oh,
be
yeah.
doing a bit.
No.
Because like
And
the first
fucking
ones they got,
DC.
and then
Yeah.
DC, yeah, the first big ones were Ramones and versus whoever.
Fugazi, Black Flag.
Yeah, the New York
Yeah, Black
Dolls.
Flag.
I love Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with Henry Rollins.
And the thing is the Ramones were barely a punk rock band.
They
to
really
start
were.
with. The Ramones were more about like doo-wop music than actual like fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, this is unrelated, but like I've always been like super confused because like I'd never really heard like Kiss's music. I'd seen them, right? So I had this whole image of like what they were gonna sound like, and then the first
Mhm.
time I heard a Kiss song, I was like, this
It's-
doesn't match.
No, it's like the Grateful
It
Dead.
doesn't match up at all. And like I understand it's like the whole showmanship thing, but and that's kind of like the Ramones. Like the Ramones had the look, but they didn't have the sound. Like they didn't
The Grateful
sound
Dead's
like the way
another
they presented
example.
themselves.
Yeah. If you've never heard them, you think they're like hardcore, like, right?
Yeah,
Like the Grateful Dead looks like
I
total,
thought
all their
Kiss was
image
gonna be
shit.
like on some Black Sabbath shit.
Right. Even Black Sabbath though. Really.
I mean, still for the
You know,
time.
yeah. Yeah, totally like branding's
And
all
it's
the way
not
off.
bad. It's not bad music. It's just I just had like a disconnect. You know what I mean? It just didn't like. I was like, does not compute.
Alice Cooper, same way.
You guys are making fun of me in the chats talking about all-time low Good Charlotte, Yellow Card, and Jimmy Eat World.
I know. Good Charlotte is from the two brothers, Benji and Joel,
Yeah,
are
Joel.
from.
Didn't we
They're
have-
from Waldorf, Maryland. I
Didn't-
used to work with them.
Didn't we have the drummer for was that Good? Is that Good Charlotte? Matt
I mean,
Ridenhour?
the whole original
Mhm.
band is from Waldorf, but I knew.
Are you talking about who was on in the mix?
Yeah,
No, that was from Hawthorne Heights.
Hawthorne
the base.
Heights. That's it.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know why.
You know what? I'm a guilty secret. Time.
Benji,
I enjoy that first Hawthorne Heights album,
Same. It's okay.
dude.
Dude, I
I'm-
brag.
I still have a shirt.
I'm about to
I don't want to
embarrass
talk
myself,
about
but
it.
I also really enjoy My Chemical Romance. So there.
I enjoyed
I
the
have a
first two.
Chemical Romance.
When I was a young boy.
That was third.
That is
Dude,
no, that
fucking
is
Black Parade is like the closest thing we've had to a rock opera since like the
yeah.
late
It is
70s.
really nice. I'm not gonna lie. People talk shit about it, but I enjoyed the fuck out of that song.
Like I see
prefer
like
me,
why it turned into like the emo like poster child band for like kids growing up in that era, but like as an adult listening to it, I was just like, they're actually like really good song makers, like melodies and everything they put together. It's like actually pretty fucking.
30 Seconds to Mars too. They didn't get the recognition that I feel they should have.
Yeah, they're a good band.
He's
And
busy.
Jared Leto can actually sing, so I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
He can't act. Not a fan
Yeah.
of his acting.
What?
The Outsider, man. That fucking movie.
That was man. That
Oh
one.
my god. You seen Dallas Buyers Club? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is that where he was the
Of course you go to that one.
Is that Rayon where he was playing the Rayon, the transvestite?
Yeah.
Yeah, for every halfway good acting job Jared Leto does, he does like something like the fucking Joker in Suicide Squad
Yeah.
that makes you want to
See-
kill yourself.
See, so it's he kind
For
of has
every-
the
for-
Johnny
for every-
Depp dilemma for me, where it's like
For
he's
every
done
Jordan
some good
Catalano,
stuff.
you get a Joker, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you get a Corky.
for like he's done some good stuff, but then again, there's fucking Tonto and the Lone Ranger. Like,
Was he?
no, I'm talking.
you're about Johnny Depp.
He has the Johnny Depp syndrome, where like I can't think of him as a good actor because he's got so much shit.
Well,
His
Johnny Depp just plays the same ever since Pirates of the even before Pirates of the Caribbean. Ever
Yeah.
since Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he's the same character in every movie.
except for what, the Secret Window or whatever the fuck it was. That wasn't he didn't play like the same character, but he was still an edgy writer in that one.
Yeah.
Like all his
The
main
window was pretty good. So was the Ninth Gate. So
Yeah.
Jared Leto played opposite of Corky. He played. I mean, he forever gets a pass on that. He did fine. You don't know who Corky is.
Jordan, he wasn't on Life Goes On.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Can somebody pull up his filmography, please? I'll do it.
No.
Telling you. We'll wait. I hate that you know the name of that. I didn't even know the name of that show. And so was what's her name? Claire Danes.
No, that was My So-Called Life.
Yeah.
That's not Life Goes On. That's a completely different show.
No. Wait, what?
Corky was not on My. Okay, thank you.
He was. Yeah, he played that too. He moonlighted for that show. Yeah, I have no idea.
I think
Corky wasn't on that show with Jared Leto.
No. Jesus.
I think Paramore
Are you
was an
sure?
overrated band.
I wish that's a good casting though. I wish
'Cause-
Corky was on that show.
Because ZA Hatchet Man wanted to talk about Paramore, and I think they were an overrated band.
Oh, I totally had a crush on her.
Yeah, I mean, she was aight.
Dude, Skittles, you should love them. They're
They're back
I think
together,
it's their-
right? Didn't they get
their
a
drummer or their bassist has like 6 different Honda Civics, one in each color.
I mean, I can like their drummer and not like the band. All right.
Yeah.
I think they got back together like within the last couple of years. Because didn't she go to try to do a solo thing and it didn't really work out or whatever?
Yeah.
She was doing a whole couple of things because she ended up marrying the dude from Newfound Glory.
Yeah, I see that.
So
here.
just there's all of your pop punk in a nutshell, I guess.
Just need some Avril Lavigne and some 41 and
Oh God, Avril Lavigne.
I'm just gonna listen to fucking Death Grips after this show because
Avril-
y'all don't know what fucking dangerous music is.
Okay.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne
Okay.
wasn't
I
wasn't
can-
even
I
like
wish,
a punk
I wish
band.
Death Grips was actually enjoyable though.
Avril Lavigne
Some
wasn't
of
even
it
a punk
is.
artist
A
that
lot of
sold
it isn't,
out.
but
She
some
was
of it
just
really is.
she was just
It's
a
like
formulaic
Aphex
pop.
Twin. Like it's too smart.
Skittles, what he said?
Sorry.
Avril
I tried to
Lavigne.
read your lips.
No, Avril Lavigne wasn't even like, you can't even mention her with pop punk because she wasn't a punk band that sold out.
She married Nickelback.
She was a pop artist. She was completely fabricated
No,
pop
she's
artist.
rad. She was a
She
skater
was all
chick,
about a
man.
skater boy.
Yeah, she was rad
No,
skater chick.
someone fucking
She was on a
saw
skateboard
her on a
video.
casting tape, and they
True.
went her. We can make her a fucking
No.
pop star.
No
And
way,
then
they
she
found her on
died
a
and
skate
was
park.
replaced with a lookalike.
Yeah, they
Right?
married Nickelback.
Which, bearing the story here, Avril Lavigne is a fucking lizard reptilian clone.
Which
Fucking clone,
which
so
I
bad,
don't
dude.
understand. Why the fuck would you? Why would you need to
Why?
replace Avril Lavigne?
Yeah, out of like all
Nickelback.
of the potential like pop princesses
All-
of the early 2000s, like why did you pick
Because
that one instead?
Nickelback.
Why not Aisha?
Yeah,
Well, fucking Eminem's supposed to be a lizard reptilian
Oh,
clone.
he
too.
is.
Maybe that's why he raps so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he can rhyme words so much better than everybody else without saying anything.
He's
Yes, he is a fucking lizard tongue.
He's a fucking rap robot. That's what he
Not
is.
to say anything, but have you ever seen anybody look that different with a beard? I mean, I'm not saying he's a reptilian, but that beard has done the weirdest things to his face.
Shit, I saw.
I think the same thing would happen to Colt if he grew a beard.
Yeah,
I think-
Oh
And-
yeah,
and-
yeah,
and-
yeah. He
and-
looks like Eminem.
And we all have this image of Eminem of being a bleached blonde,
Yeah,
like little white guy.
When he did like the dark hair.
Yeah, but
I'm not
now
saying
but
it's
now
fucker,
he's
the
like
beard is weird
filled
now.
he's filled out. Like
Yeah.
he's not scrawny anymore. He's got a
Look at his
beard. He
eyes.
went with the dark. He went with dark hair. Like
He's on that
looks
just for men
like a
shit with
complete-
that
Yeah.
hair color.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like,
Like that's
shoe
what that
polish.
is.
Yeah, shoe polish face.
He's got the fucking just for men dye in his beard. That's why it's like
so
that.
bad.
Oh, dude.
So bad. Why is it
Pretty
even
Matthew. you
His
like
fucking
Aphex
beard
Twin?
is weird.
I
It is weird.
yeah, I do, but I do run into sometimes where it
His eyes.
sometimes where it gets like almost like too mathematical or devolves too much, and I'm just like, I got to skip this track. But there's some stuff where I'm like, yeah, fucking Richard James is a genius.
Yeah.
So there was, because I was a club kid for a big chunk of the late 90s, early 2000s, so I got into like a bunch of the more experimental shit, and Aphex Twin Window Liquor was like my intro, and I was just like, yeah, that shit is,
That's a pretty good intro.
yeah, I was like,
Dude,
this,
I love the sample Kanye West used in Blame Game. So
yeah.
That album's good too, though.
Oh God, why'd you have to show me that, man? Why'd you post that picture? So fucking-
What is the picture? Oh my goodness.
He's wearing the same belt in those two pictures.
Oh man.
Is that
this
even
poor
the
guy.
same person?
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne left him, and look what
Yep.
happens.
Who?
I mean, you
Nickelback?
you mentioned some 41. And I just
Oh.
always gotta remember Derek Whibley.
He's so bad now, right? Like, have you seen him
Yes.
lately? He looks
That's
like
what-
that guy.
That's all that is pictures of Derek Whibley.
Oh,
It's
this
so
poor
bad.
guy.
No, he's better now. He's better now.
He got a
Well,
little bit better now, but he had like a
How did
stretch
he-
of like 5 years there, just like, oh,
Yeah, he went the route of Aaron Carter for a bit.
No,
He
look up the
turned-
kid from Terminator 2.
He
What's
turned
that kid's name?
into Artie Lang at this one picture.
Oh God, have
Yeah.
you started Lang lately?
Yeah.
If that guy turned into Artie Lang turned into something. I don't know what it is, but his face is totally different.
Artie Lang is still alive.
Go look him up
Somehow.
right. Look him up right now. You're not even gonna believe this. You
And
will
the,
not believe it.
the thing with Artie Lang is going to be one of those ones that we like when he finally does die. We're going to look
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on and be like,
Oh, what the fuck?
so much potential.
Yeah. Well, they've been saying that about him for 25 years. He's just never met it.
What the fuck
He's
happened
like
to
all his
nose?
acting's horrific. Yeah, his nose. He looks. The best thing he's ever been is an addict. That's his role.
He's just one. He's like, there's so
so
much.
what Green Day should have stayed.
You know what sucks is Jeffrey Ross died.
What?
Yeah.
The Roastmaster General?
Yeah, dude.
When?
I think it's 2017. That shit-
No, really? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Pancreatic cancer.
Jeff Ross?
Yeah, Jeff Ross.
It
Fuck.
says that he's still active right now on
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
I was about to say, yeah, because I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. What is this a bit?
yeah.
Yeah.
he wrote
Are you trying to
himself.
make this a bit?
Is this a bit?
I like
Are you
know
doing
that.
a bit right now?
I mean, he's
His
posting
IMDb
7 hours ago,
He's still alive.
What's he
and
done?
10 hours ago, and
Shindo.
23 hours ago.
His career died in 17. That's
Shindo, are you bidding right now? Is this?
Just wanted to see if it would work. I'm sorry.
No,
Good
we
Lord,
all have
Jack.
fucking internet access. When would that ever work nowadays?
Yeah, it's like 2018. Like we have to run to the library
Yeah.
to find that out.
Jack Black is not looking fantastic either.
He died?
No.
Yeah,
but
he is.
Oh,
he just
shit.
did a movie.
He's getting.
He doesn't look
close
good,
to
though.
it.
He doesn't look good. Who's gonna die first? Let's do that. Jack Black or Artie Lang?
Jack Black never really looked too good though.
You know what? Artie Lang might end up pulling a Keith Richards to where we're just like, how the fuck is he still alive?
I wouldn't bet on that. Because everyone's saying that now, and he's like 38. I mean,
Drowned.
he should have died so long ago.
Yeah, but Artie Lang's going to be one we look back and be like, dude, he had so much potential, and just every time he would get something going and then just watch it crumble.
Yeah,
He would just
sabotage.
spectacularly explode. Yeah.
Yeah, I just never thought he was that funny. I mean, I thought he was funny on Stern, but then like his acting and like all that shit was just not great.
He had some good moments on. Remember Mad? He had some good moments on
Mad
Mad TV.
TV.
If anybody remembers Mad TV.
I like his recollection of Mad TV, like when he tells the stories about being like in the pig suit doing coke.
Yeah.
One of the funniest stories I ever heard was Artie Lang telling a story about his bookie meeting him at McDonald's, and the bookie came in and was threatening to kill him, and he looked up and the guy had the Ash Wednesday shit on his fucking head.
Yeah.
The way he tells that story is so funny. But I don't know. I didn't think his stand-up was that great. He was such a disaster. Trying to be a disaster didn't really work for him. he was just such a disaster anyway.
So,
He
if
looks
you
like
guys
dog
could
shit.
do any experiment without any ethical implications, what would it be?
It's like,
How much cocaine I could snort until I die? Let's
Yeah.
make this happen.
yeah, let's do that.
Penis reduction surgery.
Okay.
For who?
Dick's too big. It's a
Dude,
problem.
I'd go straight for the Lord of the Flies.
Which part?
I just want to see
All of
what
it.
the fuck like humans are like.
Whose turn is it? You've taken all the good ones. The Zyklon B.
What was the question?
What would have happened if Green Day would have stayed on drugs?
Same exact
Put
thing.
Green Day back on
Different.
bugs.
We wouldn't have gotten one song. Like The Time of Your Life probably wouldn't have came out.
That came out while he was on drugs.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, nothing would change.
You know, it sounds easy, but it's hard to do an ounce of blow in an afternoon. So
I
I
bet
do
you
want
could
to
do it.
test that hypothesis.
If you
I-
that's
I'll
what you
bet
think.
money on the 9th and 10th of November. We could probably try that.
That is not a hypothesis.
In fact, I'm gonna get ready for it. I'm
I
gonna
think
start
it's from an Andre Legacy song. Speaking of white rappers, nobody listens to anymore.
Who's
third
that?
base.
What's that?
Who's that?
Andre Legacy. He fucking. You remember Dirt Nasty? All Simon Rex from MTV.
Yeah, I can remember Dirt Nasty. He
Right.
also did Tweaker Rodrigo.
Like Andre Legacy was like one of the weird random dirtbag rappers he worked with. I guess probably mid 2000s. The luminary with such songs as "Blow Off My Dick."
Great fucking tune, man.
Well-
Completely underrated.
Like it's actually kind of a catchy song.
It is. I'm not kidding. I'm not being.
Like if you're into dirtbag shit, it's actually not that bad. It was kind of fun at the time.
Yeah, it was
He looks like who's that fucking who's that actor?
He looks like he tried too hard to be an
get him to the
LFMAO.
get him to the Greek.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Look up Tweaker Rodrigo.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That shit's hilarious.
That is the best romantic comedy of all time.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. He looks like
He's got a freestyle. with,
whoever we
with
decided Siler from Heroes is mixed with fucking I can't you just said his name. I can't fucking remember it.
Russell Brand.
Yeah, Russell Brand. He looks like Spock and Russell Brand mixed.
Doesn't that already look like someone? Like the dude from Rushmore?
I theoretically went to one of his
Wait,
concerts
he looks
before
like
I
a
got
president?
sober, but I don't remember any of it because my brother and I were popping Percocet and drinking before the show. So
Dude, is there any other way?
yeah.
He
Where
looks
does
like
that
he looks
show
like
come?
Zachary Quinto and Russell Brand.
Yeah.
So Jason
Oh.
Schwartzman.
Just a fucking giant, like 3-hour long black hole. I kind of came out of it walking back to the car.
I did that at a Grateful Dead show one time.
Jason,
I passed out.
Jason Schwartzman's a Coppola.
Did
His
Mick,
mom's
Really?
Adrian from Rocky.
did Mickey Avalon turn into fucking Marilyn Manson?
No,
He's
the kid
always
from Mr.
looked that
Belvedere.
way.
Mickey Avalon. Oh my God, is that what I missed when I walked away?
I
Really?
just heard his concepts are a mess.
We're gonna talk about Burt Bacharach
What
next.
the fuck?
He
I-
stays loyal to the foil. Burt Reynolds, right? Best fucking punchline in drug rap.
Loyal to the foil. Can't afford glass.
I'm just having a blast with this Andre Legacy.
Rick, I'm totally kidding about the 9th and 10th. It's doing a bunch of blow.
Oh yeah, no, so am I, dude. I've been
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Blink,
not gonna
blink
happen.
twice. Blink twice. Just over a indiscriminate amount of time. Just if you blink twice in the next 6 days, then I'll take that as a sign.
Yeah.
It's not even back to back. Just period.
I haven't heard anything from Riff Raff in a while.
Dirt Nasty's an actor now, isn't he?
Yeah,
No.
but he's touring
was
with Mickey
in one.
Avalon.
He was always an actor, though. He was fucking Dirt Nasty is Simon Rex from fucking MTV.
Yeah. So it's Tweaker Rodrigo. He was only from MTV, right? Like that's all he did, and then, right?
And then he was in like some of those bullshit scary movie things.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was always Simon Rex.
Yeah, like Simon Rex has had a surprisingly robust career for being Simon goddamn Rex.
No, he did one of my favorite songs, Baby Dick.
Well, yeah, he hangs out with Andy and Michaelopoulos.
They had a group called Three Loco that was Riff Raff, Andy Milonakis, and Simon Rex together.
Oh my god!
And then they had that baller "We Are Farmers" song that ended up getting cut because they got sued over the fucking jingle from State Farm.
Yeah.
Dude, Simon Rex, I'm telling you.
Dude, I fuck with Riff Raff though.
Actor Simon Rex had an auspicious entrance into the world of entertainment when he appeared in some pornographic solo scenes in a series of straight-to-video gay porn releases.
Yeah, he's doing jerk-off films, yeah.
That's how he got dropped. That's why he got dropped from being a VJ on MTV.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because they found his jerk-off videos?
Because it was like the mid-90s.
Yeah, they were
they were like, we can't deal with this kind of stuff.
Like, Riff Raff has some of the only legitimately funny sketches I've heard on a hip-hop album. For some reason, just listening to him ramble about nothing in particular, especially in an accent, just entertains the shit out of me.
Dude, he's like, it's easy to look at it and be like, this is just some kind of big fucking joke, but you have to be really smart to play that stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the Diane word thing, to like create this character and then commit to it so fully that people think that's who you really are. It's like, it's beautiful performance art. That's all.
Did you watch the documentary where he's cultivating mass? Oh,
yes.
It's so
trying to turn into a burly boy.
Yeah. Did you see when he got the shark teeth grill, like the fucking shark teeth grill that he had? Oh my god, that was amazing. He had he had a whole grill top and bottom that were all these giant shark triangle teeth that like linked together when he closed his mouth, and it was just like all fucking aqua blue ice. That was amazing.
I'm like, forward thinking.
Mwah, mwah. It was just beautiful.
Takashi has those now, right? Doesn't he have those big chiclets?
I have no idea.
Takashi 6'9".
I don't pay attention to anything.
Hey, Jerry, you're from Michigan. Yeah. You want to pour out some Faygo with your boy?
You know that they're all
except in Michigan they pronounce it Faygo.
I will say
we should have known his name has Hatchet Man in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how we didn't see this sooner, guys.
Who?
I can't even.
Z.A. Hatchet Man.
I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. Like, it's ICP. Like,
they're like all cool with Eminem now. You know that?
I have it on good authority. Jerry is in fact down with the clown.
Going to the
natural undead in the ground.
Are you gathering right now?
Are you a juggalo?
Dude, okay, I will admit though. Me and my cousin, when we were younger, we definitely wanted to go to the gathering just to like film it. Like,
well, what?
Just film it.
Yeah.
Years back at this point, there was that like Vice thing that they shot with Danny Brown at the gathering that was kind of awesome.
It's really weird, but yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Did you ever see? There was a documentary too about it that was like 25 minutes long. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
The gathering looks rad, by the way.
The CIA classified
the FBI. They're
the
juggalos.
FBI, the Juggalos as a gang.
The CIA is not allowed to operate within the borders of the United States.
What are you doing, man?
They would never do that.
By their charter, they're not allowed to operate within the continental United States.
He was just kidding, right? You don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's harder up here to like be quote unquote down with the clown because it's just like.
Oh, I think it'd be easier.
Sometimes it's scary.
Are they hometown heroes?
For some people, yeah, to the point that you're like, if you say anything bad about them, like,
it's a cult.
There's a reason why the FBI says they're a gang now.
What the fuck ever happened to gym class heroes?
Well, they sucked.
It's hard for me to take you serious and scary with like this poorly applied clown makeup.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like they don't even have people to do it for them. They have to do
The one thing
about a baseball bat is scary to me. So.
Clowns are scary, but like juggalos aren't scary.
Exactly.
The one thing that I'll say about ICP is they were very, very successful independent artists when
Yeah.
that wasn't necessarily a thing that a lot of people could like.
They were in record
Fuck.
stores.
Yeah.
You could actually you could go to Sam Goody and buy a fucking
Yeah.
ICP album if you wanted to.
Like
I mean,
fucking ICP and Tech Nine were like at the forefront of independent like hip hop music for a long ass time.
Well, yeah, they did everything like you would do with social media, but they did it like homegrown organically. You know?
They did it by touring their asses off.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, that was the same thing with the Roots. Like the Roots never had a platinum album until I think Things Fall Apart finally went platinum, was like their first one, which is going back a ways now, but they had like 6 or 7 albums before that. And the whole way they built their fan base was that they toured, they did like 280 shows a a year for like 10 years straight.
Well, that's the Grateful Dead too.
Dude, doesn't the Insane Clown Posse kind of remind you of the Vaping Legion?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of crossover.
So Jai Hayes is definitely a juggalo in his spare time, right?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he has a juggalo's face.
Yeah, he does.
Like that face was meant for some big ass like
Yeah.
fucking
Clown makeup.
But do the whippets never stop?
Yeah.
They shouldn't have asked how magnets work. They should have explained how deodorant works.
Like Insane Clown Posse fans, it's just like a group of people that everyone collectively doesn't want to watch fuck.
Right.
Oh, dude, Suge Knight got 28 years.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did no contest.
No lo contendere.
What? What do you get?
Which is
28
probably
years
good
for?
because
a
he's
better guy.
shit.
Oh yeah, I remember
killed
he
like
ran
9,000
over a guy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he ran over a Bone, but I forget what his last name is. He's an actor. You'd recognize him.
Broken after he got done.
They're supposed to be his man too. The dude that got killed, like that wasn't the. Like he apparently just ended up like behind the car when Suge tried to dip out and like ran him over. But that was like he came. Yeah, he came with Suge in the car and like whatever popped off and like Suge jumped in to leave and like ran his man over on the way out.
Yeah, it's all over YouTube. You can see that guy died. I didn't know that guy died.
I think DMX is out of jail. I don't think he's still locked up. He got like a year or two. It wasn't anything major.
DMX, if you want to see you ever seen DMX on a roller coaster on YouTube?
Dude, I feel bad for DMX. That guy obviously has some fucking mental health issues that he isn't addressing.
Dog.
He never had good handlers either. He got so like he was number one. He was the number one act in the world for a period of time and had no kind of like actual support around him.
Whoa.
DMX thinks he's a dog.
I went to the DMX show and a motherfucker went on stage and barked for 45 minutes and then left. He didn't do one song. I'm not even kidding. That's not bullshit.
That's the mental health issue. He just thinks he's a dog.
Yeah,
That's actually
I'm
really
like zero
sad.
surprised by that, which is
He didn't do one fucking song. The crowd was bananas. Yeah, he was like, "Whoo, whoo,
I mean, the thing is, like he should not have the fight. Like even with like a drug problem, like he should not have the financial issues that he's had with as much. Like he was selling records. He was selling millions of records when the industry was like still a big healthy thing, and artists were like big artists got paid off of it. You know what I
He was
mean?
in a movie with Jet Li.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they took advantage of him.
Bro,
Romeo Must Die, man.
Suge Knight when he got like a real fucking bail set for him, he bitched out.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
When they set his bail for $25 million, he collapsed.
His knees got
went,
weak. He buckled. All those
Like-
gangsters did. You ever see that one guy that killed like 85 people or something, and they gave him? So he started crying right in the middle of court. That's a
damn.
serious time.
I mean, and Suge's just been like physically falling apart ever since then too. He's like losing his eyesight and his blood pressure and like all kinds of other stuff. Like he's not.
How long is he gonna last? You think? John Gotti lasts 2 years in jail, right? Before he turned into like, yeah. You ever see the picture before he died of John Gotti?
Yeah, he got what? He had throat cancer.
Yeah.
Oh God. I didn't see that too. Apparently, his 2 former lawyers are having charges against him, too.
Who? John Gotti or Suge Knight?
Suge Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna.
No, his 2 former lawyers have charges against them for conspiracy to commit bribery, conspiracy to commit perjury.
That's surprising.
Conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice and accessory after the fact.
Yeah,
Which means they were threatening everyone.
That sounds like Death Row. It sounds like Death Row, but he doesn't realize like Death Row doesn't have the. This isn't early '90s death row that had the pool to do whatever the fuck they wanted back in the day.
Yeah, he's just a pyro threatening people.
So, yeah, no, his two former lawyers were in March were both just charged.
They tried to do that with the SLS Las Vegas Open, and I was working there. I worked there for 2 years. They busted Suge Knight and some other of his like associates for trying to shake down the fucking owner of the place, like trying to have, because the guy that owned SLS, he also owned all kinds of nightclubs in LA, where he probably was shaking them down, or they were shaking them down. But there was a whole big story before it opened about Suge Knight trying to
come out to Vegas and do the same thing.
Yeah, well, because it was independent. It's one of the first independent casinos that's been out there in a long, long time, like since the mob was there. And yeah, he was trying to do the same thing, and they were just like, "What? What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I guess the guy went to the police.
He's another like Suge's like some of the older artists, like the '90s artists that haven't been able to adapt to the way that the music industry's changed, and
Like,
he just hasn't been able to adapt to the way like the gangster world's changed since then. You know what I mean? He's still trying to run the same scams.
Well, he's a gangster. Like, he was running gangster rap like a gangster, and it's not like that anymore.
Right.
He was played UNLV football out here. He's not.
Wow, he's just a piece of shit all around.
Oh, dude.
Suge? Yeah, there's all kinds of stories about Suge for years and years.
No, I mean, like, the fact that, like, apparently he had money tucked away in an African company that deals in diamonds and gold. Like,
blood diamonds.
Yeah, like, that's...
Yeah, he's a hunk of shit, dude.
Holy shit.
He didn't ever pay nobody. He would not pay. I guess he had them all on an allowance.
Snoop did some interviews with Vlad TV saying that like
Michelle
the car, like all the cars and everything were in Suge's name or Death Row's name. Like Snoop had the #1 album in the country, and like none of the stuff was in it. Like all the stuff he was getting, none of it was in his name.
Yeah, then they like he made all them deal with Michelle, just like they could never even talk to him.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't listen to her talk for more than like a minute or two.
Blow my head off.
Yeah. Like, that's not your real voice. Use your grown-up voice.
I know. Get the fuck out of here with that, dude.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And he's the one that told Pac not to wear his bulletproof vest that night. Just saying.
I think the CIA killed Tupac.
I do too.
They're not allowed to operate within the borders of the continental U.S.
They solved that crime like recently, right?
Yeah, it was
PPD.
Yeah, sure
Orlando Anderson's uncle.
Yeah,
sure they did.
Yeah. There's a really good documentary on Amazon Prime called Murder Rap, behind the murders of Biggie and Tupac. That's like a really fun, really, really interesting watch, and to get all into it.
Fucking Skittles thinks Jack Ryan himself killed Tupac.
No. If you look into it, his family had been under surveillance for like
they were the Weather Underground.
Yeah.
Were they even the Weather Underground?
No.
Yeah, they were.
They were members of the Black Panthers.
The NSA killed Tupac, not the CIA.
The NSA didn't exist back then.
Okay.
They don't now either.
Yeah.
Phoenix Accord, Tupac, Matula.
They're Black Panthers.
Yeah, they were also with Bill Ayers, right? The Weather Underground. Didn't they do that?
They weren't white kids.
I don't think so.
The Weather Underground was like
with,
college white kids.
Geronimo Pratt. They were associated with Geronimo Pratt, weren't they? Yeah, the Weather Underground was with a bunch of black people though too, a bunch of Panthers. Pretty sure this might be one of those things where I'm remembering, like Canada in the Civil War.
Hey, Jerry.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Does this mean I have to stop making Baker Mayfield as Johnny Football 2.0 jokes?
We'll see.
Okay. Because I'm just checking the stat line, and it looks like he's actually doing okay.
They blew up a
Browns.
post office.
There's still 2 minutes left.
Is Johnny Football playing Canadian League football or
somewhat?
I think he got kicked off the Canadian football team he was on, right?
No, he got traded because he was a backup, and then he got traded to someone else, and he's not been doing too great. Last I saw.
Poor guy. Probably should have done another year down there. Probably should have done another year at Texas before he decided to go pro.
That cat agrees.
He knows what's up. He's so loud now. As he gets older, like he just gets more and more fucking demanding and loud.
We about ready to
Yeah.
We did a good 2 hours. This was fun.
Yeah. It's been real.
So was I wrong, Skid?
We need
He
to do a
was
whole rap show.
his godfather was Geronimo Pratt, but there's no link to the Weathermen.
So what?
The Weather Underground, I guess.
Yeah, I see. I thought there was. Anyway, round the horn.
Because Geronimo Pratt was a high-ranking Black Panther. He wasn't Weather Underground.
Yeah.
I know that there's some sort of connection though. That bank robbery or that post office bombing. I don't know what it
Okay,
is.
well, you go ahead and
I know, it
get your,
doesn't matter at all.
get your conspiracy theory all worked out, and we'll revisit it next week. It'll be
I'm
like
glad
that
you
Always
said that.
Sunny. It'll be like that Always Sunny meme with like the string across the map in the room, and Graham sitting there like.
I'm glad you said that. Now.
Carol!
It all happened in Canada. It's okay.
I'm real certain about this one.
One name keeps showing up. Pepe Sylvia.
Hey, the new episodes of It's Always Sunny have actually been pretty solid.
I haven't seen them. I didn't know they were out. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I've just been watching them on open load because I'm a goddamn degenerate.
Same.
It's pretty impressive the show's been able to go as long as it has and still turn in quality material.
Yeah. Last night's episode was another spin on the Wade Boggs episode that was actually pretty well done. It was like something about all-female reboots, and it actually had some fairly trenchant commentary and ended up in a bunch of shitting and throwing up. So, yeah, I was into it.
Nice. My profile picture on Steam is a picture of Danny DeVito dressed up like an art snob.
It's the old, yeah.
This one's so
Oingo.
derivative.
What, it was Oingo Globian or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love how it just walks by them. Derivative, trash, garbage.
Okay, I'm about to agree with a Juggalo. South Park does need to die. Nobody's
This guy
gonna
like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
No, it's the best part about every election is watching the South Park episodes.
Absolutely.
For that election.
That whole South Park ruined an entire generation of goddamn voters. The
How so?
entire fallacy of both sides are just as bad. Like South Park
That was
libertarianism is a
That was
goddamn
one
cancer.
episode.
It was
One
like
single episode.
3.
Yeah,
shit
but
sandwich
They
and
started running it every election though.
the shit
That's
sandwich
the-
and a
That's the
giant douche.
problem.
Like the first one, yes, it was hilarious, but like that just became the joke every
Then
election.
Comedy Central ruined a whole generation of voters.
Yeah, they run comedy.
South Park.
No, like
South Park didn't run their episodes. Comedy
did?
Central ran those episodes. South Park wrote that episode for what was it? Fucking John Kerry versus George Bush.
Yeah.
Which was a giant douche versus a turd sandwich.
But it's just come back like this entire like, oh, both sides are just as
Then
bad,
don't-
so why
then-
give a shit?
Then don't blame South Park.
No, it's all
Do
on
we- do
Comedy
we-
Central.
do
They
we
wanted to
blame
end that
Karl
show
Marx
like 8
for the
years ago.
Soviet Union? Like, no.
Yeah, that was just its own clusterfuck.
Maybe if
I'm just saying that like that one touchstone has had so much impact on the way that people of a certain age think about politics.
But I'm just hoping if they end South Park, we might finally get a basketball sequel.
Right?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they'd have time though to work on it. So that
Or,
I just
the
wanna-
further erotic adventures of Orgasmo.
Oh God.
If they actually do stuff they enjoy, it's usually pretty damn good. I just want them doing stuff they actually enjoy doing again.
That's why they changed the format of South Park. That's what I think, at least, because
We
it
just have
used
to
to
get
just be like self-contained episodes, and now it contains a storyline.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
why
I
they did
like,
that.
I like Marx. I think that's
So,
good.
like South Park, it like hit Simpson status for me, I guess, like 8 years ago or so, to where like I know it's there and people still enjoy it, but I just have
Yeah.
no interest in watching it anymore.
Yeah.
There was a good time where I loved the shit out of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
the
guess,
early
like,
seasons,
yeah,
the early seasons
2010.
of South
Okay.
Park were fantastic. The whole
Yeah.
fucking Mecha Barbara
Streisand.
Godzilla, versus fucking Robert Plant from the just as it was Robert Plant from The Cure, like you know what I mean? Like it was just amazing that whole thing. Like it had like genius. There's genius moments in South Park for sure, and there's there was amazing social commentary. But like the early seasons had the fire, and then after a while it's like The Simpsons, to where like the fire's gone, and you're just doing it, because it makes money. So let's keep doing it. And like once the passion's gone,
How
I
old
don't
is
know,
the show?
man. I think the social commentary has
South
only gotten
Park
better.
started
Gotta be 20
in
years old.
98. Yeah, so it's like
so
20.
bad. Okay.
Yeah, like I love the gentrification episodes. I thought they were hilarious.
Dude, they've been doing it for a
No,
long
like a
time.
lot of that's the thing is like if they their social commentary episodes are just amazing,
Yeah.
but then they just kind of started getting into tropes because they got tired of it.
I mean, how long can
The
you
episode
do?
where they have all the couples that redo homes, and that's huge up
Sticker jeeps.
making fun of
Dewbacks.
HGTV. It's amazing.
I just like, I guess I'm gonna be like the complete humorless asshole here, but I just feel like there's an entire like group of people that were bred on that sort of like nihilistic South Park libertarianism where there is no right side and everybody is stupid and it don't ever care about anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because I do run into that a lot.
Yeah, I guess
Here
I
we
don't
go.
think that was the intent.
Here we
You
go.
don't cancel a show because of what it does.
Libertarians are right wingers that just don't like that title. Change my mind.
No, you're right.
I saw the best description of libertarian as pothead, but racist.
It means liberal social views and conservative.
That's what it is
conservative.
now.
That's
The actual base idea of libertarian is like an ideology that's just as impossible as like communism as socialism.
and like they
extreme
wanted like essentially anarchy. They're like the government
Yeah.
shouldn't be involved in anything, and it's like, well, I don't think you realize how shit things would be if that was true.
True form libertarian is literally just anarchy, basically. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, because I've run into some people that are like, oh, yeah, I'm a socio-anarchist. And I'm like, yeah, that would not work at all. Like, who's gonna fucking pick the trash up?
That's when you go, oh, you're a fucking idiot. I see.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
They're
about-
like, well,
what
if
do you wanna do
companies
about
pick up the
police
trash, and then it's like, oh, great, another fucking company to pay.
Yeah.
Like another fucking monopoly to be able to spread across the United States.
What does that
Hey,
change?
dude,
You pay
drunk
for
driving's
taxes.
legal, dude. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is predicated on personal responsibility, but unfortunately,
You
I
can't
don't think we're in a position where humans are ready for that amount of.
No.
And it's not like I'm saying like I want the government to be able to control everything. I personally would enjoy having like smaller government that focuses on particular things instead of being such a broad. But you need some form of environmental protection. Otherwise, companies will just do whatever the fuck they want and not worry about it, because we've already demonstrated that's what we do in the past. We need public safety, public health, who's going to maintain the roads, who's going to make sure that the cars are safe. There's like so much stuff that people never think about that does need to be taken care of.
It's
my issue.
it's too
My
complex.
my issue is paying the amount of taxes that I pay, but getting very little return from it. Like I actually wouldn't have an issue with like,
If the government programs were actually geared towards helping the poor.
not just that, but
not the
actually
poor, like
but if like
most other Western countries.
I pay like the city of Philadelphia has like a pretty big, like the city tax for Philadelphia is pretty big, and there's a big chunk of it because I went and looked, and there's a big chunk that goes to like roads, like public works, and like the roads are fucking terrible. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's
Shit
because
like
you
that.
guys still use salt. Move somewhere that doesn't have winter. The
Yeah.
roads are so nice.
It's partially, but it's a lot of it. You got to
But
look.
I've been all through. But I've been all through Europe. I've been through like a bunch of like Northern Europe, and they get some pretty severe winters as well, and like their roads are fucking fine.
I don't think they get like the level of like ice and winter
They
storms.
also
that
rely a lot more on public transportation.
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
are idiots that feel
They'll
like
do
they need to
shit
go
roads,
out in the
things
middle
like
of a
that, too.
snowstorm. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes with it.
A lot of it too is
Gentlemen, I
down
gotta go to bed.
Okay.
Later.
Later.
Night,
Peace,
guys.
dude. A lot of it's you got to look into where the major road construction companies are too, because there's actually not like a huge amount of major road construction companies who like handling that work. Because that's like Michigan, we pay the most out of any state for roads, and ours are by far the shittiest because we basically have to export people or import people to work on our roads
Mm-hmm.
for everything.
But it's just stuff like that. Like I don't mind paying for a service or a product as long as I get the quality of the service or product that I'm paying for. And with my taxes, I don't feel like I'm receiving, like, am I going to be able to send my kid to public school? I kind of doubt it. I'm probably going to have to pay tax for public school and then still go out of pocket to send my kid to private school to make sure he gets the education that he's going to need. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is that's my issue with the way this stuff's structured.
Well, and I think there's also like a little bit of misconception. Like I would probably classify myself as like basically a democratic socialist at this point. Like that seems like something that actually lines up with where most of my beliefs land. But like believing that government has a role doesn't mean that I think that the government should be unchecked. It should be ran well. We should always be working on maybe making the public sector more efficient. I just also believe that there needs to be a fairly robust public sector.
Yeah.
Like it isn't about accepting the status quo of how fucked up the government is. It's just agreeing with the idea that government in and of itself is not a bad thing and it can actually accomplish things when you actually fucking run it well.
Yeah. I agree.
There should be no government.
Burn it all down.
Like my
the tree of liberty must be refreshed with the blood of patriots.
My sister's.
Oh, we just got flagged, didn't we? For that
yes, we did.
My sister's ex-husband is like a big libertarian, and it's like, do you not realize?
Does he have a "Don't tread on me" sticker on the back of his truck?
He's got a fucking flag. He had a flag on the house. It was everywhere. And it's
we see a lot of those flags out here in farm country.
And I'm like, you literally just got out of the military. Do you realize how fucking contrarian you are right now?
Yep.
Like it was mind blowing. He was out of the military working as a military contractor. As just a huge libertarian, and it's like,
does not compute. Does not compute.
I don't. He's still working as a military contractor, and he's still as fucking. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put bread on the table, and you got to have shells for the AR-15 somehow.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? AR shells are not cheap. That 5.56 is getting more expensive.
Seriously, how are those rounds so goddamn expensive? I've went out shooting with a couple of friends, and you try to oh fuck, I'll buy some ammo before I go out. That shit is expensive. How do people do that on a regular basis?
You buy a 22.
They pack their own.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, you reload is the best way to do it. But yeah, it is pricey.
It's like,
I'm in the middle of building a 300 blackout, and I kind of wish I thought it through a little bit better because those shells are even more expensive than 5.56.
Yeah, the fucking a good reloading rig is like $400, and you save that money in 1 year if you go shooting
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get into it at some point. I mean, 40 cal. Our pistols all my pistols right now are 40s, and 40 cals get more expensive. I'm probably going to trade one in and switch over to a 9 because 9's a little bit more affordable to go shoot.
Just get a 380. Fuck it.
Yeah, 380.
Go bitch mode.
You know what? 380 is perfectly fine as a self-defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the weapon that I have.
Yeah.
To
fit your little pants.
No, I have an inside the belt holster, and I'm
just joking.
I have a
with
very
you.
lithe frame, so a small gun needs to. I can't have a fucking big gun on me, or it's extremely noticeable.
We know you buy little boys' jeans.
And a small gun.
You shop in the kids department at Target. We're aware.
All right, I have a 30-inch waist. All right, let's calm down, guys.
I used to. It's fine.
Now 380 is perfect. 380, some of the hotter 380 has ballistics very close to some of the better 9mm. So yeah, 380. People like to joke about, but 380 is perfectly fine as a defensive handgun round. It's the stuff 22s and 25s and even 32 ACP. It's that might not be the best.
32s.
Although, even though
rounds.
A gun is better than no gun in a situation where you need to protect yourself. So it's whatever, carry whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. But yeah, 380.
Like someone told me about that.
You buy those to go have fun.
Yeah.
Those are blinkers.
Yeah.
380 on it.
Yeah, but I mean, pretty much all of those are mainly target guns.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a big period of time where they were selling like all the little like Lady Ravens and stuff that were all like 25 ACP, like little purse pistols.
Or you have your idiot friends who are like, I'm gonna buy a 22 and try to make it fully auto.
I mean, I don't think like.
I had a friend of mine had a Tech 20. He had the 22 caliber variant of the Tech 9 and full automatic 22, and it was the most ridiculous, fucking stupid gun of all time. It just jammed constantly. You couldn't get through a full magazine.
But no, I don't even think you need bullets to have like a good self-defense gun. In most cases of self-defense, if you pull out a gun, the other person is stopping.
I conceal carry one of those shark bang sticks. I just tape a shotgun shell on the end of a pool cue with a nail in it and just run up to people.
Self-defense! You say, that's my purse, I don't know you!
That was too good.
You get you one of them captive bolt guns like No Country for Old Men.
Okay, Colt, there's your line for the intro song.
What? That's my purse, I don't know you. I'll let Method know.
All right, let's wrap this up
All
before
right.
we get into another. Before we find something else random to talk about.
Well, I guess this is the end of the episode. Tune in next week, September 27th, where we will be discussing our father's gym habits. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great one. Let me get this outro music up. Goodbye.
Balls.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, DLC.
Balls.
And on that note, the Browns won a game.
Holy shit.
I think.
This is like Johnny Football 2.0 in that it's good Johnny Football. I'm into it. Holy shit, the Browns have a better record than
23 seconds, but
They got 23 seconds. Don't jinx this.
I mean, the plays Sam Darnold's making, he's not taking this back.
the Browns have a better record than the Seahawks right now. I'm going to hang myself.
Browns have a better record than my team too.
Ugh. One tie, one loss, and one win. Holy shit. Jerry, I think we're sad.